You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. The most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey. The most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
But don't know the hurt that you're feeling. Even as sun restoring. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me home from evils unknown. Cover my feet so I'll never retreat. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my brother, cover my sister, them who under pressure. Cover the preacher, every church worker, the young believer. Cover the worship leader and intercessor, every gospel minister. Cover. Jesus alone is the one who has the real answer. The one on the throne is the true and loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know he's a fixer. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me.
Truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase you will eventually decrease you. Consider this. Never receive counsel from unproductive people. Never discuss your problems with someone incapable of contributing to the solution, because those who never succeed themselves are always first to tell you how. Not everyone has a right to speak into your life. You are certain to get the worst of the bargain when you exchange ideas with the wrong person. Don't follow anyone who's not going anywhere. With some people you spend an evening. With others, you invest it. Be careful where you stop to inquire for directions along the road of life. Wise is the person who fortifies his life with the right friendships. If you run with wolves, you will learn how to howl. But if you associate with eagles, you will learn how to soar to great heights. A mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. The simple but true fact of life is that you become like those with whom you closely associate, for the good and the bad. Note, be not mistaken. This is applicable to family as well as friends. Yes, do love, appreciate, and be thankful for your family, for they will always be your family, no matter what. Just know that they are human first, and though they are family to you, they may be a friend to someone else and will fit somewhere in the criteria above. In prosperity, our friends know us. In adversity, we know our friends. Never make someone a priority when you are only an option for them. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude.
Let me say a special hello to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's in the village with Uncle Tommy and Professor Ward Street and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, you know we come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. And you know what we always say here, ladies and gentlemen? It doesn't matter what color t-shirt you wear. You wear a purple t-shirt, a brown t-shirt, a cream t-shirt. Each and everyone is welcome. Doesn't matter what planet you're from. You're from Mazatanius, Xenaranius, Sonaranius. Each and everyone is welcome in the village on WZYE 95.9 FM. And this is how we start the thing.
It have our place, WZYE, where they treat you like friends and family. So if you're looking for a place to belong, going WZYE, you could come along. If you have haste, do come with me. We do have dad on WZYE, Santa Medite.
Yeah. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You know how we do it here. We always say here, we originate, we don't imitate, and we swear that when you come in the village, we're going to bring you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Take a listen.
Ansam LeBon and Marshall Nesbitt solemnly swear to conduct this radio program in a true, fair, and balanced manner, ensuring that all perspectives are given equal consideration and that the information presented is objective and unbiased. We pledge to provide a platform where diverse voices can be heard, fostering open and constructive dialogue that serves the best interests of our audience and community. Our commitment is to uphold the principles of journalistic integrity and ethical broadcasting throughout the duration of this program. Thank you.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me bring in my co-host, the man himself, the one and only. Let me do something here, Tommy. Let me do something here real quick. Let me go back over here. Yes, there we go. Let me bring in my co-host, the man himself, the one and only, the incomparable Uncle Tommy. Tommy, how you going?
Good evening, good evening. I'm going well, very well this evening. And yourself?
Well, Tommy, I'm kind of excited tonight. Here's why I'm excited. I have a good friend of mine. He's the CEO and chairman of Rousio Group, Amy Rousio. My partner. I just call him by the front name, but I see it. And in addition to that, Tommy, he have a young lady with him from my community, Tommy, Lavantil. Yeah. From
Lavantil, yeah.
Lavantil. So I'm enthusiastic. And that's why we started the program early today. Because we wanted to get these individuals here early. So the chairman and CEO can talk to us about this company, Tommy, provide financial services, right? And I'm just going ahead here. I already see Amy's in the background and Nikisha is also in the background, just waiting to join us, right? But I'm really enthusiastic because, you know, Tommy, anytime I hear Lavantil, I have a weakness for Lavantil.
And I can't blame you. I can't blame you. That's where your heart is. And
Tommy,
that's your home.
Don't ever Calypso sing, I have a weakness or weakness. What is that? Weakness or sweetness? Is that what it is?
Yes.
I have a weakness for Lavantil. So anytime they tell me anything about Lavantil, I write there. Yes. So let me bring in our guest. We're not going to wait any longer. First, let me bring in Amy. Amy, how you doing?
I'm all right. Professor Wall Street.
Yeah.
Good night, Mr. Tommy.
Yeah,
Good
definitely.
evening to you. How are you?
Let me bring in Nikisha as well. Nikishi.
Hi, good night. Nikishi Alexander. I am good. And yourself?
Nikishi, I'm trying to be as good as you. So when you have an opportunity, you can email me the recipe.
Sure, no problem.
So Amy, I'm very enthusiastic tonight to do this interview and for us to have this discussion. You are the CEO and chairman of Rousio Group. You guys have about 100 employees and you provide financial services. And we have with us Nikishi Alexander. She's a financial advisor and she's in her second year. She's been with the company 2 years and she's from my hometown of Lavantil, boy. Yeah. I'm enthusiastic too bad. Yeah. So Amy, give us a little background about the company and then we want to talk to Nikishi and kind of tell us how Nikishi ended up at your company.
Okay, thanks, everybody. Let me first thank you, Tommy, to allowing us to share this platform and inviting us today. It's indeed a pleasure. I feel really privileged. Um, well, our company is just about 36 years young. I've been in the financial service business for all of my life. My dad, I'm a second generation insurance person. Um, we have about just about 100 persons working with the organization. And the purpose, what we look for is really looking to spread our wings and hire persons who have that ability and talent. And we have a whole training program, a whole gambit that we bring persons on to help them to get financial awareness, one, and to look for persons who have that specific talent to carry on the message. The program is runs like it's like an internship, internship program that allows persons to come on and start what we call similar to a franchise to the organization. We represent international insurance company, where the persons could come on and get a number of benefits. But there's not about me. There's about Nekishi, and I'm going to ask Nekishi to share her story and tell the world how. And she's one of our top advisors, just under 3 years in the business, doing really really well. And it was a
Well,
funny story how we met.
yeah, well, hear me before Nikki, she shares a story. I had to ask Nikki she a little bit of questions, you know what I mean? Nikki, I am from Chumakak, Lavantel. Chumakak.
Right.
Building one apartment, 2-1. And I always rep. I left Trinidad about 47 years ago. A long, 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 long time. When I was a little boy growing up in Chumakak, Lavantel. What parts of Lavantel are you from?
Building 4.
No! Get out of
Yeah.
here. You serious?
With Natasha Asia, that's my aunt.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Of course, I know your aunt very, very well. As a splendiferous young lady.
Yes, everybody knows her.
Right. I am from Building 1, apartment 2-1. I grew up there, and when I left Trinidad and Tobago in 1977, I left that building up in Chumakak. And up to today, I'm still fighting for things to happen in Chumakak. So listen, look, God is working mysterious ways, Amy.
Yeah,
I have to tell you the truth. This thing just happened just so. This thing just happened just so. So Nikisha, go ahead. The floor is yours. Tell us a little bit about your journey to the Rousseau group.
So firstly, the name is Nakishi Alexander. I've been with Amory Rousseau branch for under 3 years, as he said. As I said initially, my aunt knows everyone. Natasha Asia, she knows everyone. So
Everybody.
Amory's son, Delano, he was trying to recruit me in the early ages of my young adult life, which I think I was like 18. So I always had a knack for financial advising. I didn't know what it was about. I just knew you could make a lot of money. So that was my first. That was my first opening towards becoming a financial advisor. Of course, making money as a young person. And then I basically did the training, as Amy would have said, and the support and the training and the knowledge that you gain while working with them, I think that is something very much unexplainable. And I think the capacity in which I work in, it helped me to basically broaden my goals and shape the person I am today, basically.
So Nikishi, tell us some more about your education, your basic education.
I went to Tranquility Secondary. Well, firstly, I went to Edinburgh Government Primary School in Shogunats. So although I was born and raised in Laventille, I lived with my grandmother for the 3 years of my young life, and then I moved back to Laventille. So I went to Success Laventille RC School, and then I went to Tranquility, and I started ACCA after I finished school. And from there, I had a lot of jobs because I don't know, I just love to work. I love to be independent. And that is how I was raised by my aunt. And then after, of course, I joined the financial field, which is the financial industry.
So you didn't
You
go
know,
to university.
No, I didn't finish university actually. I went to SBCS.
Okay, as a business school.
Yes.
you know, it's interesting, Nikishi, that you talked about. I went to Tranquility Government Secondary School too, and I used to go there from straight from building one to Tranquil, so I'm telling you, it's, but you know what it is, Nikishi? I want you to kind of, because when I see individuals like you, right, coming out of a place like Chumaka Clavantel, and kind of being successful, I want you to try to tell the people that once you put your mind to something and you work hard at it, you can be successful. And because I have a code that says your circumstances may determine who you are, but you are responsible for you become. So kind of tell the people about, you know, hard work in spite of, coming out of Lavantil, that you could still be very successful.
All right. So in my young adult life or my teenage years, I have listened to a lot of Tupac, and he was an advocate for the ghetto community, as you would say. And he always said, doesn't mean because you're in the ghetto doesn't mean you can't grow. That's something that stuck out to me since I was a teen, because I listen to a lot of his music, right? And I also think that a lot of people think that you're from the ghetto or you're from Laventille, because I hate to use the word ghetto, that you're limited to opportunities or that you're uneducated or you're poor. That was never the case with my family or even my aunt. I've always had great experiences, and I think the people in the community as well, they also had great experiences. I think the togetherness there and stuff like that. Um, it was different. It was different. If I had to choose growing up in the ghetto all over again, I would choose that, because basically you build resilience, right? So as you said, it's your mindset and it's the support from your parents or your guardian. I don't think it has anything to do with the environment. Yes, it can consume you, but it's it's dependent on the person you are and how you were raised, basically. So that's my takeaway.
Yeah. So how was your journey? How has your journey been with, Amory and his group since you've been there? Because it seemed like, you're on a fast track. You're on run track. So it seemed like you're on a fast track. Give us a little bit of that experience there.
Right, the journey has been not all rainbows and sunshine. I think you have to work. And with
Hard
Emery,
work.
yes, I like the characteristic or their management style, because they don't accept mediocrity. They believe that every one of us has the ability to be successful, and that is what I like. They don't let you bask in mediocrity. They basically push you to be who you are, and not by telling you, "Hey, you're doing good," but "Hey, you need to do better. You can do better, or do this instead." I think it's the support from them is that is why I've stuck with becoming a or being a financial advisor, because of the level of support and the knowledge. And I think Emery and his brother, who is my manager as well, they have similar backgrounds, as they would say, although I don't believe them sometimes. But but yes, they came from similar backgrounds, and I think sharing his story, we get to understand that people are like you. They make it out just the same way. So how is that even impossible for you to be somebody like them or even be better than them? Because they often train you to also be better than who they are. So you could basically take up the mantle and carry on basically their legacy or what they do or what they teach. Yeah.
I want to compliment Amory for, you know, giving a young lady like you an opportunity to be successful. Because at the end of the day, all people need is an opportunity. That's all they need sometimes. And Amy, I want to compliment you on giving the young lady an opportunity. And I know that I could already tell that, you know, in a very short space of time, right round the corner somewhere, she's gonna have her own little insurance business under the Rousseau group. She's gonna be running her own little thing, and she's gonna have other people out of those communities to also becoming financial planners as well. So to talk a little bit about that, how we could kind of network so we could get other, Nikishis out of communities like Lavantil and environs.
Yeah, well, and some one of the things is everybody like the underdog, and when
Yeah,
they see this, they
yeah,
think this is a white boy from Westmoreland. They categorize me as a 1%. I'm a true Trini like yourself. I
correct.
can't speak American if I want to. The I grew up in Tunapuna. I'm very proud of the lifestyle that I was able to enjoy because although we had a good lifestyle, I accustomed probably things that guys would have done in the past, which is going to the river, catching crayfish, cooking duck, those kind of things, pitching marble. I done it to the new generation in our house. And because of that, there's a lot of opportunities in our areas that we tend to lack. And to me, the difference between rich people and poor people is information. And growing up from where I stand, I could tell that story. So we have a lot of stories like Nikishi from different parts of Trinidad and Tobago. And as you know, I do a little bit of philanthropy, working with communities, depressed communities all over Trinidad, and meeting young people who feel that they had to look a certain way, they had to come from a certain background, they had a certain level of education. The future says with AI, EQ will be the biggest talent. That's where all the CEOs and leaders of the organizations going to go. And I think we have a lot of talent in these communities. You just need to reach out and help them and assist. And why that? You find most of the persons in those areas who have that talent hungry, because some people got that talent and they waste it. But those persons hungry, they understand where they come from, they see where they want to go, and they're hungry for it. So they will try and fail and try and fail. And Les Brown said it best. Success is defined as somebody moving from failure to failure with a lot of enthusiasm.
Yep, yep.
So I'm looking for more persons. Actually, my target is to hire about 200 advisors and grow my team because, as you know, at some point in time, we had to ride off at the sunset, but they want to leave something behind for persons to carry on. And our business model allows persons to own franchise. So yes, the next direction for Nikisha, we already having that discussion. She only pathway to be into management and running our own branch. That's the direction I want to push Takishi. And bringing her on this platform is to help her to get known because there's a terminology that evolved some years ago, hotspots.
Yeah, yeah,
The whole country is hotspot.
yeah, correct.
The whole country is hotspot. So we can't label, and Nikishi alluded, we can't label certain specifics. Because I remember one time, and I hope I'm rambling, I remember one time I was working with our good friend Ron, and that's how I met Natasha. We were giving out stuff in the community, especially around the COVID period. And funny enough, in other areas that we were helping out, I was surprised while walking through the village of Lavandil and even on the Bitam. Persons still remember to say good morning and good evening. Nobody passed the street.
Yeah,
But other communities, they keep their head straight and those move left or right. But I told Ron, I said, Ron, you notice everybody here have manners?
yeah.
Something you don't see, and I'm not saying this because you're from Lavandil, but it's a fact.
Yeah,
So my plight in this is to get more hungry individuals, and hungry in the sense that ambitious, know they could do better, but not lacking the opportunities or lacking anybody giving them the opportunities to come into the financial services business and make a better life for themselves and their family. And we have a really good program that we launch and is tried and proven. I have a reputation for what we call the rookie factory, which is taking persons like Nikishi who don't know anything about the financial services business, putting them through a training program. And a rookie in the business is the top producing agent, new agent in the business within the first 18 months. And I have something about 26 rookies under my belt that are produced. And it's normally every year's first, second, and third in the industry and in the companies that we work for. So my goal is to look at targeting underprivileged, bright, ambitious persons like Mikishi who once they realize there's an opportunity like this for them, they can reach out to me and I'm willing to work with them.
You know, Amy, that's very interesting, and I'm excited to hear that, and I'm excited to hear, Nikishi's background too as well, because, sometimes it's not about, having all type of degrees and all kind of thing. There are people who, due to their circumstances, they didn't end up going to college, for example, and I don't believe that everybody has to go to college to be successful in the business world. That's my belief. I believe that if you have the drive and determination, you could succeed at whatever you want to succeed. And Nikki, she's a prime example, and I want her to remember to reach back and bring other people along with her. I think that's very important for Nikishi to understand that, you are creating a pathway for others to follow, and reach back, and assist those and bring, even if you bring one person along, you don't have to bring 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, If you bring one along and they bring another one, then it's like it's networking. It's networking. So Nikishi, as you go forward, kind of looking at the future, where do you see yourself in the future?
That's a question that a lot of young people get asked often. Where do you see yourself?
Yeah.
I think that's a very, the word I want to use is, you want to see yourself being great actually, but you have to put in the work every day in order to reach the milestone that you want to reach in the next 5 years. So I want to see myself being comfortable and continuously being continuously putting myself in positions to create opportunities for myself and, as you said, for persons who are from my background or from my community. So I always want to be in a position where I am in a position to help others. So that is where I see myself in the next 5 years.
And I want to recommend a book. It's called The Magic of Thinking Big by Dr. David Schwartz. The magic, because even though I was from Chumakak, even though when I was growing up in Chumakak, I was thinking big, 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 big. And then as I grew older, I got this book, The Magic of Thinking Big, by Dr. David Schwartz, right? And now people may say, well, they say, well, you have a big ego. They say, have a big ego. No, it's not have a big ego. I'm very confident in my abilities to achieve certain things, right? And that's what I'm saying to you as well, Nikisha. Nikisha. You have to be comfortable within yourself that nothing is going to be too difficult in order for you to achieve. And whatever it has to do, once it's legal, right? You will get that done. So I'm so delighted and elated to know that, coming out of Lavantil, so Emery, there are also opportunities you are looking for people. You want to share any information as how people get in contact with you or get in contact with respect to those opportunities?
So yeah, well, they can reach out to myself. My number is 620-7948.
Say that again. Emery, a little store. A little store.
My number is 620-7948. Could call and say they got the information that they viewed on your channel, and we have we recruiting in groups to a class. So we have a class starting next couple weeks, and that'll be the last class for the year. Out of that class, we select the persons to move forward who would fit the profile, who have the team spirit, the right attitude, and so forth. They're hungry, looking for persons who we deem as the ideal candidate to be successful in this business. And we also have an online site, a web page. I'll send the link to you.
Yeah, I'll share it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
share the link and they can go on that. There's a whole process. They can apply. There are managers there, but certain qualifications, skills, and abilities that they could choose who they want to work with, and they will have take them through the process and invite them to interview. So it's a whole process we carry them through, and including a training program. The truth is, this business is not cut out for everybody. If we had that, then everybody would be financial advisors, and the world would be a mess. So we had to have doctors, we had to have lawyers, we had to have nurses, and so forth. So it helps the person, we help the person identify if they have the skill set, and I have an eye for talent. Just as Nikki was going through the process, I told my brother, say, we need to hire this young lady. She will be successful in this business. And that's what we're looking for. The next 2 weeks there's an onboarding process. Once you share the link or reach out to me, I'll have a couple of the managers, and I'm also part of all the training programs that they have. So they would see me off and on. And the program, the whole process is really to ask 3 questions. Can the person do the job? Does the person have a psychological background to deal with this type of business? And then will they do the job, which is the most important part. Yeah. And once they answer those 3 questions, then they more than likely will be a person who could be successful in this business.
How many branches do you have currently?
3 and growing. 1 in San Fernando, 1 in St. Augustine, and 1 in Twin City.
Nothing in Tobago yet.
We have something in Tobago, but we have other managers that can refer persons to them in Tobago. I ran the Tobago operations for AIG for about 15 years. I was the strategic plan for the Caribbean for AIG for a number of years.
So
and it comes with a compensation package to it. So once they're on board, we have a special compensation package. So we just throw them and say, on commissions, we have a compensation package with targets that they have to hit. So within 6 months, they would have gathered the skills required, and then they go on commissions and bonuses and conventions and the whole gambit. Yeah.
So Amy, what I'm hearing is that you could kind of, create your own path. If you want to be mutual successful, and you want to put in the work, you could be very, very, very successful.
Exactly. Correct. It's all up to you. This is a career. This is not a job. The acronym for job is just over broke. There's a career from the start, from the get-go, that you can see yourself down the road. There's the only business in the world that's pay. What work you do today is pay for the rest of your life. So in the 36 years, I will continue to get residual income past my retirement. And when I die, the business that I would have built, I could then pass on to my children. So you create a legacy for yourself. So it's not that you're working for the entire life, and after that you go and get a retirement package. It's not like that. Plus the benefits that they have from things like group life insurance, health insurance, a pension plan that you can never outlive. We have incentives that we offer a subsidized interest rate for mortgages. So it's easy to get mortgages for yourself. Investment funds that it actually teaches you how to manage finances and to grow yourself financially and personally.
So this is just not a job, but it's also helping you as well. Helping the individual, develop themselves, not just with savings, but also with investments and other things as well. Nikishi, what kind of advice? Because, some people might be intimidated if they hear, well, you want to be a financial planner or something like that. What advice would you give to a young person who might say, you know, boy, I'm going and apply to see if I can be part of this group here. What advice would you give to them?
I would say to maintain a positive mindset. If, as you said, think big. If you see a bigger goal for yourself and you want to accomplish that goal, then take up the opportunity. I would definitely tell them, think big and use your mindset.
This is correct. This is correct. 100. So, folks, I just added the website in the chat. So, if you want to, if you have people who are serious, you could give them that, and they could, I guess, go on the site and they will see all the information there. You know, so I've just added in the chat. So if you want to, for people to go and browse the site to figure out, you know, there are some people out there who, you know, might not know of this opportunity and might see this as an opportunity for them in order for them to become a financial advisor. And this is a twofold thing. It's just not you working for money, but you also, you know, planning for yourself as well as your family, you know, and other people that you may know, you know, that needs that kind of help. So Nikishi, I am very enthusiastic, you know, with respect to going forward. I know Amory, you know, you know, Amory, a, a lot of people know you, but just to just to, di- just to digress a little bit, you know, you have done so much things in the communities that don't look like you, Amory. that, that look like you. And Amory, if I ask something of you, right, it's never been a problem. You know, and I want to tell you that I do appreciate that because
Thank you, sir.
I reached out to you recently and I asked you, and you came back, you came out with flying, flying, flying colors. And it's always to help somebody from Lavantil or the Beatum or some place like that. And you know, you have been very, 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 very helpful in doing this. So Nikishi, go ahead,
And
go
so
ahead.
just let me add that.
Eh,
Here's my belief.
eh.
It ain't nobody in Trinidad pure, you know. And if I find them, it's very far and apart. I
Yeah,
have African. I have cousins who look like you.
yeah.
I have Indian. I have Chinese. I have French Creole, Portuguese, Italian, Spanish. As a potong. So
Eh,
it has nobody in Trinidad pure. So I don't see that. What I see is the person's ability and want a chance, a change, um, and the opportunity is here for them. But I want to say this about plug in for Nikishi. So Nikishi she just completed a program and working and going after the business community. So she's an expert in giving advice on things how they could use tax shelters.
right,
And
yeah.
she's an expert now. She has finished a program how to do mortgages, commercial residential mortgages, equity finance and asset finance and debt consolidation, which is much needed in the business community in Lavantil. There are a lot of tax shelters that they can take advantage of. And she has all that information. And I keep telling her, say, go back to your community, go back to your roots, talk to them, because those are the people you want to help. Go and share the information with them. They don't have to buy, it's not to buy, but if they have the information, they'll make their own decision. But trust me, especially now with the trying times coming out of COVID and our economic challenges.
And Emery, you know something? I don't know if this is the same problem that we have in Trinidad and Tobago. Life insurance. You know, I'm thinking that a lot of people from Laventil and environs, you know, may not have life insurance. I don't know if it's a fact, but I'm guessing. I'm just guessing here. But you know, sometimes
Yeah.
life insurance is not that expensive, so to speak. But people may think it's expensive and they just don't have life insurance. Kind of walk us through that a little bit.
So, well, life insurance is based on a pricing system and the pricing system that work on age, whether it's male or female. Um,
Your
the
health.
risk, those are the risk factors, the health, and based on and the products has evolved so much more different than over the years. So it have what I call a life insurance, like similar to a bank account. So you have an investment fund, you have insurance, and you have access to your money. It have things to plan for your retirement. It have plans that you have to provide for your children's education. And exactly, not expensive. So that's off the top of my head. Somebody age 25 looking to buy $500,000 worth of insurance, that premium will be less than $200
Yeah.
month, and that would include some sort of savings benefit for them. And how it works with the company I work with, we set up because we don't sell life insurance. I'm gonna put it out like that. We talk about needs. You want to own a home because needs are based on when you look at the Maslow's hierarchy theory based on needs. It's food, shelter. So you want to own a home. All right, so let me help you own a home. The most difficult thing in owning a home is having a down payment. But let's put aside something to save over a period of time. And you need to have life insurance and you go to the bank to get the mortgage. So let me put two things and kill two birds with one stone. And let's put a 5-year plan in place. So in the next 5 years, you now have something to work at. If to buy the house, you have the money to put aside to buy the house when 5 years reach. If not, and you die before, or you get critically ill, or you get sick, the money is paid for that upfront. That's how the businesses work. If whatever you set out to save, if anything happens to you, the money will be there for your family to achieve it.
You know, Emery and Nikishi, I just thought about something. Things just come to me as people talking. I think that we can discuss where's that we should have and I think here kind of a 10-minute or a 15-minute sort of an education with respect to financial services in Trinidad and Tobago. You know, just so people can, you know, they can tune in because you know in Trinidad and Tobago, when you listen to radio, it's only bacchanal and confusion. You
Yeah.
understand? I just say most Trinidadians have 2 basic degrees: blame and complain and bacchanal and confusion.
But something something to backtrack a little, Amory. You were
Yeah.
talking about the premiums. Are there different premiums based on the area that you live in, or is it one thing across the entire country?
Like one thing across the entire country, across the Caribbean. So it's just it's based on the risk factor they measure, the mortality risk or the morbidity risk, age, health, and whether it's male or female. So those are the basic risk factors. So whether you're a man or woman in Trinidad or in Tobago, the pricing remains the same.
Whether you live in Laventille or you live in Westmoreland.
Same thing.
All right.
Same thing. Same thing.
Yeah, I think it will be very interesting, and I think this will give you know Nikisha a little more exposure to as well.
Yeah.
In order for her to have like a 10-minute segment where she's just talking about you know different financial services and maybe how she could assist people you know who are looking for help you know with
Yeah.
respect to financial services. What says you, Nikishi?
Pardon?
I said, what says you? Did you hear what I said?
Yes, I heard what you said, but the last question I didn't
I
hear.
said, what says you? What says you about
What's
what I just said?
Yes, I will be interested in that for sure.
Definitely. And you know, since you know, Amory good, you could just come on 10, 15 minutes, you know, have a little segment talking about, you know, financial services, how you could assist people, you know, get to the next level. At least you could assist them to save some money too, you know, financial planning, you know, little thing like that. Because I think it's kind of important that, you know, our community, Nikishi, you know, especially our community of Laventille, that we start to give the people who live there some financial advice and some of the things I could do. You know, I mean, you know, you could always put aside a little something instead of doing something else. You could put aside a little something, you know, in order for, you know, your daughter or your granddaughter or somebody else, you know, that you could actually leave something for
Education.
them. You know?
And so I'm glad you said just a comment on that here. one of the foundations of the Rockefeller's wealth is through insurance. You know?
Correct. Yep.
And the easiest way to create that wealth is through an insurance plan. And they understood that. And they set up a fund and they put the money on everybody. Whoever died, that money goes in the fund for the next generation.
There we go. Yeah.
The quickest way out of poverty
The quickest
is creating. Quickest way out of poverty.
Yeah, and I just be amazed sometimes that, I mean, sometimes I think we think, boy, that's too expensive, boy. I can't afford that. But you never know, you know. You never know. And these things, it goes from generation to generation to generation to generation. So I think it will be a interesting idea that we could get Nikishi in order to just come and tell people. And we're not just talking to the people, we're talking to the whole of the country.
Correct.
Understand? Because there are other communities across Trinidad and Tobago that's very similar to Laventille. You know,
I think that's an excellent idea. And I mean, Nikishi is the future, you know.
Yeah.
And we need to lend that support and encouragement at all levels. That to sit down and say, there's a young person. When I came into the business, about 22, 23 years old, I went to meet a guy to sell some insurance. And I had a more mature person who was presenting them. And he told me, he said, what is the difference? And this guy was in his 50s. He said, what is the difference between you and our next insurance agent? So the client was in his 50s and the insurance agent was about 60. And he said, what's the biggest difference? I said, the biggest difference is that he would die before me. And I will be around to pay the claim. You gotta understand, doing business with Nikishi, she'll be along to ensure that the claim is paid to the right people.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. So to promote Nikishi, I think is an excellent idea. Jump in, Nikishi, come on the program, talk, and you have plenty to share.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it would be, I mean, it's kind of important that when we are talking about trying to move our community from point A to point B, so to speak, right? And this is actually a splentastic opportunity for people to look at Nikishi, right? See where she's from, see where she's at, you know, and say, you know what? I could be like that too.
Yep.
See, and that's what it's about.
Yep.
So Nikishi, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I would just like to say thank you for the opportunity, for giving me a voice on your radio show. It was a pleasure.
And we actually, let's take a call here. See, somebody's calling. So let's take this call. Maybe they have a question. Caller, do you have a question for the young lady? Caller? Caller.
Good evening, Wall Street.
Yes, good evening.
Very interesting topic.
Yes.
One thing I was listening to the gentleman, the lady, to you all.
Yeah.
When we talk about, especially around our people, when we speak about money, financial education, people always think you have to be 21, 22. It would be good to go in schools and teach children, and of course with their parents, in schools, and show them financial literacy.
Yep.
As a part, because people think because if you check other groups, ethnic groups, from very young, a Chinese will have his little 2-year-old in the shop, learning, you know. An Indian will be selling side. That is how I grew up. That is how we grew up with other people, their children. But we tend to think, even if they tend to think that way at an older date, and then we don't have a saving. We have a kind of spending, I don't know, DNA in us. Don't matter how, don't matter how much money you have, how much money you have.
But Mr. Atlanta,
to spend.
Nikishi's the future.
I encourage that young lady to think of people even younger than her especially in this time. You know what I mean? But you know,
Right. Nikki, she's
so,
with
so to start from even schools, because I find it's a good idea.
yeah, thank you so much.
I don't know what you think.
No, listen. That's an excellent idea. And I think that, you know what, I mean, there can be some type of program worked out where it could be a program where Nikki, she's like a mentor, and I don't know who's in, but somebody's gonna give her a stipend, so to speak, because the time is important. Time is money.
Yeah, but even
you know what I'm saying?
Mr. Even the
Amy.
gentleman, because my granddaughter, when she lives in Tobago, and I found it was brilliant, because at 5 years old, a credit union came in and made everybody join and teach them to and keep the money at 5 years old. With it was a class with the teacher in school, and they saved their money. Everybody put it up to today, when she's 24 now. When she's 5, when she passed common entrance, they gave her, I think it's $5,000 or something, because she saved every cent. But she's a saver. Whereas the other children, when you reach common entrance class, they tell you could take the money and buy things. She kept on right on to that firm. She kept right on, and they gave her an award, all kind of thing at little age, and she kept it on in the school, within the school. So they're not moving anywhere. Don't have to go nowhere. The officers, like this young lady would come into the class, and they save the money. They have the bank book and things from 5 years, from 5 years. And I find that was because I find young people do not study. They don't inculcate that at them at that age. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Mr. Atlanta, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Right,
thank you.
And I'm very interested. Very good topic.
Thank you. So Nikishi,
I'm very proud of the young girls. Sorry, very proud of Nikisha.
Nikishi. Thank you very much. And so there we go. That's just another idea that, on the table. Where's that, when you're thinking, you could then, because you may go and speaking to the kids, and the teacher may need what you talking about. You see? So let me play this voice note real quick here. Somebody just sent a voice note. Let me see. Amy, I think you know this person. Let me see. Person just sent a voice note.
Hey, Emery Harper here. What's up with you? I don't know, but it seems like no matter where I go, no matter what I do, if I don't bounce up one agent, like the other day was in Deep South, bounce up one agent. I reach in Tobago, bounce up an next agent. And now in this program, and I bounce you up. So I don't know what the atmosphere is saying, but universe is saying, but keep up the good work. I like how you're encouraging the young lady. And since he's a boss, I know this man a long time. Trust me, there's nothing in the insurance industry he haven't done. Absolutely. Every single record, every single goal, every single, he have done it. So keep up the good work. Continue encouraging the young lady, and you might bounce, man. You might bounce.
Amy, you're all over the place, boy. Amy, you can't hide, boy.
God is good, man. God is good.
All the time, All the time. But Amy,
I want to make a comment.
But Amy, wait, hold a minute. Hold that thought right here. We got to go for a quick break, and then we're going to come back. Hold that thought, right? We're going to go for a quick break, and we come back. Folks, it's In the Village with Uncle Tommy, Professor Walshit, and you. Tonight, we have with us, the CEO and chairman of Rousseau Group, Amy Rousseau, and we have with us Nikishi Alexander, a financial advisor, out of the bowels of Love Until, boy. Love Until. We'll be right back. Stick and stay. Don't go nowhere.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
We are back with you. It's In the Village with Uncle Tommy, Professor Walshit, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. Don't forget, people, share the live, share the live. WZYE 95.9 FM on Facebook, WZYE 95, WZYE 95.9 FM on X, as well as subscribe WZYE TV on YouTube, and you can reach us here at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444.
Also, 973-609-6509. That's 973-609-6509. Voice notes and texts are welcome.
There you have it. So, Emery, go ahead with the thought you had before we go for the break.
So kind of controversial, but I think it needs to be said. There's a saying: culture beats strategy or half strategy for breakfast. And based on the conversation the person just was alluding to, there seems to be a thinking in Trinidad and Tobago is that there are certain ethnicities that have mastered the art of creating wealth. I don't believe that. And there's a certain ethnicity that they say that have not mastered the art of creating wealth. But I always refer to Tobago.
Right.
True.
So if you go to Tobago, there's the same as some of the ethnicities that is prominent in Tobago are the wealth creators, are the ones that have most of the wealth. So it's a cultural thing that we have to change. And I agree with her that it starts at the primary level, at the school level, the
Yep.
thinking.
Yep.
It starts there. We need to keep on pushing that, and highlighting persons like Nikishi on a
Yep.
regular basis, a more positive note. And because most people feel that they have option.
Yep.
And this is the option. This is one way out. Because even our industry, we have over the years developed a certain tarnished reputation. And that has also changed. The persons don't buy insurance if they die. Persons buy insurance as a financial vehicle to get what they want to achieve.
Yes.
That has changed. The whole process has changed. So I thought I would have mentioned that and throw that in there.
You know, I'll be honest with you. I could see Nikishi um, being, of course, paid a stipend by whoever. I ain't calling no names. You know, going to the schools in Lavantil and environs
Of course.
as an example and a mentor to these kids and telling them what it's like, what are the opportunities there for them to be successful. So they could see for themselves that here's a young lady come out of, Lavantil, right? A member of the Rocio group, a financial advisor, right? I could be that too. And not only that, but what she's doing, and if they incorporate that, can help them and their families. So I think that's an excellent idea there by Miss Atlanta. And that is the kind of information we like to share here, in order to inspire people for a better tomorrow.
Mr.
Yeah.
Mr. Rocio.
Yeah. Emery.
Okay, Avery. Okay, what I wanted to ask is that we had the CL Financial and Clico debacle in Trinidad and Tobago. I wondered if it took a toll or if there were any fallout felt by your particular company or group due to that.
Well, to say it didn't have an effect would be a great lie. So it did have an effect. But what I know, we had a conference is that is backed by the central bank and the government. And if you don't have a belief in that system, then we all lost. Um, their situation was a unique situation based around a particular product. But the proof is in the pudding to date, even with all the challenges, insurance companies make money when they do new sales. They haven't sold a policy in the last 12 years and they're profitable. And they're still paying claims. They're still honoring the claims. So that in itself is a testimony to our industry and the survival of the industry, and it will continue to grow and survive.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I think that what we have done today is kind of started something with respect to the Rocio group and Nikishi, as the starting point. So Nikishi, you are the start of something new, something that we would like to, be part of and to give information. And in that way, you can get customers out of, telling people how they can improve their lives and improve their families. So
Definitely.
yeah. So I mean, Amy, unless you have, we'll give Nikishi the last word. Amy, you have any closing words?
I just want to say thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. I will ensure that Nikki take you up on the offer in your next program.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
will,
we'll get that done, man.
I hope I get invited at other times too. I really enjoyed the conversation. Tommy,
Emery,
it's nice to meet you.
Emery, don't try that, man. Don't try that. Emery, you welcome here. You send me a message and say,
I,
could I come
I,
on the
wa-
program?
I, I want to get invited to go and walk on Wall Street like my partner. That's what I want to get. I see all doing big things. We had to bring that to Trinidad. That STP, we
Eh,
had to bring that to Trinidad.
yeah.
We had to bring that to Trinidad.
That is something we go talk about. That is something we
Yeah.
go talk about. But Emery, we go talk, man. Maybe we could have you, go to the New York Stock Exchange too, and so at least your company, could be, know that you tell people that, well, but look, I've been on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. I was a little jealous. I was in that picture. I was a little
Eh,
jealous.
when you see Ron in the picture, yeah, man. We could always get that done. Nikishi, anything like you want to say before you go?
I'll just say, for persons who tend to procrastinate a lot, even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. So even if you're scared, just do it. Scared.
Whose slogan is that? That is Nike slogan, just do it.
Yes, do it.
Just do it.
Just do it. I want to
Yes.
say I want to say thank you so very kindly to you, Nikishi Alexander, and to you, Amy. It's always a pleasure, man.
Have-
And we have to do this. We go discuss that thing with Nikishi, and we have to do this a little more often, Amy. You know what I mean? Come
Yeah.
and talk about your company. Come and talk about the things you're doing. Come and talk about the things you're working in the communities and things. And you could also talk about, your other things that you do that other people may not know that you do. When people are not looking. So again, I want to thank you guys so very kindly.
Thank you very much.
All right,
Thank
take
you.
care. Take care. All right, bye bye.
Bye.
All right,
Thanks a lot.
here we go. Yeah. So there you have it, Tommy.
Yep, wonderful. Nice people.
Yeah. Amy's a good fella.
Very
So
positive.
yeah. I mean, no, we supposed to have Fuad Abu-Bakr. He's supposed to
Fuad.
join us. Fuad Abu-Bakr supposed to join us. Anyhow, let me go in the chat. Here we go. As soon as we say he join us, yes. As soon as we say Fuad, he's supposed to join. Like I think he was listening,
Yeah, man.
I think he was listening. We ain't gonna wait no
Well,
longer.
yeah, good evening, guys.
Yeah, we're not gonna wait any longer, man. We ain't gonna wait. You go bring in one time. Oh, you're going.
I'm good, man. Good evening to everyone.
A better evening to you.
Good to see you guys. Like I was telling your colleague today, it crossed my mind while I was on a radio program earlier today, and we ended up connecting. So I'm glad to be here with you all, man.
Yeah. So I see you have up the political leader of the new National Vision Party.
Yeah, man.
Let me talk about that a little bit. Since we see that up there, let me talk about that a little bit. I think that is kind of important with the way things going now in Trinidad and Tobago. Let me talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I feel as though it is tremendously important as well. Everyone who I speak to, I explain that I'm in it for the long game. It's not a short-term thing. It is challenging, but it will reach right back there, in my opinion. The cornerstone, the stone that they discard will become the headstone, the important one. And I think it is extremely important for people like myself and other young, well-minded people with the right intentions to get involved in leadership. I don't just talk about politics either. I talk about leadership because they have stained the word so much, and I see myself in every capacity as a young man, as a father, as a religious leader, as a political leader. So, we're working still, but it's not just about the player per se. What I've been advocating recently for, and I have a joint platform with the MSJ tomorrow. What I've been advocating for is a change in the game. The game is rigged. It is not a fair playing field. The game needs to change. So there's this talk sometimes about constitutional reform, and in particular, when it comes to our electoral process, there are some changes that need to be made. When it comes to campaign finance, there are some changes that need to be made. Otherwise, we're leaving that power in the hands of a few, the rich, to manipulate the process and to continue to serve only themselves, guys. Nobody else, only themselves. And that is not working for Trinidad and Tobago.
Now, Fuad, you've been at this for a while.
Yeah?
How many years?
I'm the youngest veteran.
Okay. Yeah. What is your strategy for growing the NNV? Because the NNV, I know you've been trying for a bit with it. Well,
Yeah.
what is the strategy to truly grow it?
The education process is critical, guys, to people understanding the political system and the paradigm that we are in. We want to specifically target the younger population that is more willing to change and more open-minded as well to accept the principle that something different can come forward. That you don't have to be trapped between worse and worse, as some of them they say, between a rock and a hard place. And you don't have to vote for the nonsensical reasons that people advocate for you to vote for race, or because you're going to lose this, or whatever else. But because you actually identify with philosophy and principles that are progressive, that can take your life forward and the lives of all Trinbagonians to a better place. So we're working on that education process. Like I said, we have a joint platform with the MSJ tomorrow to address certain issues. And we're trying to do that. We're trying to, where we can, form strong alliances and understanding with other parties that are like-minded. We are going to embark upon a very serious education program to teach people about the political education that they need. I gave an example to somebody. I say, if we are at sea and we're facing a storm, right? And it have 100 crewmen on deck and it have one navigator. You're going to what? You're going to ask the 100 crewmen to direct you, or you're going to vest the directions into the navigator. So sometimes the majority comes up with the wrong answer because they don't have the right information to choose properly. And this is the trick that they've been playing on us over and over. I mean, all you know the system in the States as well. How much of us know Cornel West is going up for president of the United States of America? All I know that if I was there, I voted for Cornel West, Professor Cornel West. You know, but it have maybe 50 or more. I don't know this election how many smaller people or parties or groups going up and presenting presidential candidates, but they're not even given a sniff. And if you really calculate those individuals maybe 1,000 times better than the options presented by the two mammoth Goliath parties. So,
You
so
know,
we had a reassessment.
you know, it's based on the fact that you mentioned that you might be a better option than most, but there's been a stigma placed on the Islamic background that you are from that affects and could affect your viability. How do we get past that?
Again, education is essential. And if we are going to vote with ignorance in our minds, then we're going to come up with the wrong answer. But fellas, you know, I wish we could ask people to vote and put it working up on the top. Right? You give somebody a ballot paper a little bigger and you tell them, put the reasons why you make this choice. And based on the reasons given, because you know when you do a mathematical question, you get a point for the answer, and then you get a number of points for the working to how you derive there. And if your reasoning is because he's a Muslim, or he come from this background, or his father was this, or he's African, or he's an Indian, man, that should invalidate your response. You ain't get zero, you get minus in my book, because it is sheer ignorance to let things that people are not in control of. Certainly, your parentage, your race, your creed, certain things you are not in control of. To judge a person just based on that is absurdly, extremely ignorant.
Absolutely.
And we should have come too far to be still in that position, man. We come too far. And I really want the young people of Trinidad and Tobago to think more. And I feel as though a lot of them are thinking that's why they have this apathy for the system. They don't vote. They don't care. They ain't even interested. And most of them tell you, for what? What's the point? We need to educate our people to a greater extent. Obviously, with time, things will change as well. And likewise, because things are so very, very bad in Trinidad and Tobago, economically, in terms of our social conditions as well, crime, people are looking for options. Unfortunately, like they want the options to look like what exists before. You know? And we have work to do.
But Fuad, doesn't the current ruling party want to keep the people, especially people that look like you and I, in the condition that they're in, and to not try to educate them as far as making them aware of, if I put you in power, right? Somehow, right? You're supposed to be doing for all the people of the country.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow, if certain masses put you in power, they shouldn't be at the bottom of they should be in the sub-basement when it comes to socioeconomic statistic.
Yeah.
You know, if I put you in power, right? So this is how I just put it. And let me say this, right? I talk in politics here. In 2015 and 2020, I voted for the PNM.
Right.
Right? Now, Forward, is it a rumor that they say that you had went up for some seat for the PNM?
Oh, yeah. Well, let me clarify that.
That you had screen for a seat. That's what was said. I think
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that you said.
So I didn't even get past the screening process. So oh, the long and short, and I don't want to go into some of the details. I've been taught by my father as well that if you have arrangements with people, it is not always in good conduct to put those things into the public sphere. So I don't want to go too deeply, but basically I was invited to screen for the Port of Spain South seat. We were having conversations with the People's National Movement and their leadership, and they went back on their word and they gave spurious reasons which were extremely unacceptable. You know, we felt as though it would have been a positive step for governance in Trinidad and Tobago, for young people, for strong, fresh, new individuals to get involved in the political process. But they thought otherwise. There were certain other interests in the party that did not want that. So,
but Fuad, you didn't think before going, knowing the political leader of the PNM, you didn't think that they were kind of using you in order for them to get to some other place?
oh, well, you take some things in good faith, but you have to be extremely, extremely careful. And I'll be honest with you, no, I had extreme reservations, because politics and politicians are extremely immoral in Trinidad and Tobago, and I mean across the Western world as well. I was contemplating that issue in my mind today, and I was saying to myself, as a man, you have to have a word. If you don't have a word, then what are you? You're less than a man. So, and I was saying that, thinking to myself in terms of how people receive me and how I deal with others as well. So, yeah, I had my absolute reservations as well. To be honest, guys, and I'm not ready to speak totally on the matter, but I will at some point. I was extremely upset about the entire situation. I felt that I was deceived, and my father as well, because he was involved with me politically. This is one of my sons here. My father as well, and I had some issues about that whole incident, and we had a difference of opinion on how it should have been ventilated publicly thereafter as well. So it was a very, very difficult time too, guys. For those involved in the political process, it is challenging, boy. It
Yeah,
is extremely challenging.
I know it's challenging, but I myself, to be honest with you, I voted for the PNM in 2015 and 2020, right?
Yeah, man.
And I live in the United States of America, right? You could say that I am okay. I am okay. I don't have to be involved. Tommy and I do not have to be involved in politics in Trinidad and Tobago. We could stay out of politics. We could just go and live with life happy and stay out of politics. But I was, and I'm telling a personal story here, I was very, very disappointed in the PNM when the Lavantilto Washington Empowerment Center gave a proposal. I'm saying facts here to Prime Minister Keith Rowley, Prime Minister Rowley.
Yeah.
I personally gave him a proposal for the Lavantilto Washington Empowerment Center in the former Workers Bank building.
Yes.
And I have to be honest with you. This wasn't for Anselm Libon or for Wall Street or anybody. This was for my community. I wanted to empower my community of Laventille and environs. That is what it is. And when I see them mash down that building like chili baby, right? And right now there's nothing there. And you know what makes it even worse? The same black PNM people was criticizing me and say, hey, why Wall Street don't come back to Trinidad? Why you don't go and buy a building? You only talking. I'm going to buy a building. He could buy a building. Yeah. And I'm saying like, whoa. You know, Dr. Claude Anderson said, a race that's taught to hate itself and love the world would become its own oppressor.
Yeah.
A race. I mean, I thought they would have support me and say, boy, Wall Street wants something for your community, boy. What? That's why I tell myself, and I'm being honest, how could I support a party that doesn't support the people who put them in power?
Yeah.
How could I do that?
Yeah.
You know, no, I'm sorry. But anyway, that's just my story.
And I hear you 100%. I tell some people, because I'm very close with people who are involved in the PNM, you know, Trinidad and Tobago is small.
Yes.
And I say to them, and they tell me, boy, who racist and what? And I say, you know what is worse than racism? I say pseudo-racism. You know what it is to hate yourself?
I'm telling you,
So don't tell me about people, you know, hating me because of my race. All right. And then I see exuding hate for self. You know, that's a bit. Hold on 1 second. Let me just.
Yeah, go ahead.
Put small man aside.
All right, go ahead. So, folks, what we'll do, we'll let them do that, and then we'll get back. So, folks, Tommy, I had to make a decision, Tommy. Right? Lester, welcome. Lester say the PNM they support the people who put them in power, the finances. Yeah. I had to make a decision. I had to live with myself, live with myself and my wife too, not just herself. Right, Tommy?
Of course.
Yeah. So Tommy, I keep asking myself, but Anselm, how could you live with yourself? And not only that, Tommy, you spent money. Yeah? I spent money on the PNM. You understand? And I wasn't looking for no financial returns. Right? I said, well, listen, the building up in Chumaka, Laventille, we go get that renovated. It took years. And Fitzgerald's come with all kind of story. And the same black PNM people come at Wall Street. Why don't move back to Chumaka, Laventille? You don't move back. You only talking. Right? And them don't even talk to tell Fitzgerald's, go and live in Chumaka, Laventille for a week.
Right, he's the representative.
And he's the representative. They want me to move back to Trinidad, you know. I live in America. And they want me to move back to Chumaka, Laventille. Says I is a advocate for Chumaka, Laventille. But you see how them people and them, something wrong with them?
They don't get it.
Something wrong with them.
They just don't get it.
You don't get it? Tommy, watch. When we talk about Prime Minister Rowley, let me bring him back in.
Listening to all your pressure. It's not easy, you know.
That's how we don't talk here, you know.
You know.
We speak truth to power, you know. We're not like them. Fuad, I hear somebody say, oh, Fuad don't like Beverly Ramsey more because she's a woman. Is it because she's a woman why I don't like she? Your discussion had nothing to do, but that is them. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But that is the mentality of they're trying to make you look bad because you are speaking facts.
Yeah.
About something.
And they have no critical discussion to make, but you take it to a place of absurdity. Just absolutely detract from what we're saying. And I want to touch on that issue as well because it's a burning topic. And PAN is our national instrument. There's a lot of hoorah about it as well. Proclaimed, putting on the coat of arms, a lot of tokenism, a lot
Correct.
of fluff.
Yep.
A lot of fluff and fireworks. They don't miss independence fireworks, you know.
You mad? That's a ritual, boy.
But substance in terms of delivery to the people who have upheld this instrument, the tradition, the bands, the community work for decades.
Yes.
Out of the love for the people and for the instrument and the love of freedom as well, because it is an expression of freedom. You see, supporting them and empowering them, nah, you ain't getting that, you know. But you're getting tokenism, as Mr. Martin Daly put it. And I will quote him. He said once a quite arrogant official, he was out of government. While he was in government, he never liked anything Martin Daly would have criticized or said. Then the person ended up out of government because his government lost the election. And he meet him in town and he tell him, I like your articles these days, you know. He didn't like them before when he was in office. But now somebody else in office, and he's being the same critical way, fair, but, you know, adding substance to discussion, critiquing it, giving alternatives, etc. Now you like it because it's against another party. And I that is, Tommy, that's immature.
Of course.
That is not how we're going to grow as a society. You can't suppress people's opinions and their criticism and their concerns. We have absolute concerns. Or are we really concerned for African people in Trinidad and Tobago? And if you ain't concerned for African people in Trinidad and Tobago, then you're deaf, dumb, blind, or your heart cold like stone. Something wrong with you.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting, right? By the way, we had former Pan Trinbago president Pete Diaz here
Last
the other
session.
night, and we had a 2-hour discussion.
Yeah, man.
And one of the things he said that Pan Trinbago had a deed for the 11 acres of land, which was 13 acres, and 2 acres they couldn't do something with because of something with tongue and country or something like that, right?
Okay.
And I'm asking myself this question, Fuad, help me here. They had this land there for quite some time.
Yes.
You take it away from them to give it to an Indian businessman to build a cricket academy.
Yes.
When we already have Brian Lara, right?
Yeah.
You put them in a place in Port of Spain, and I am not sure if they own that property or if they are renters.
Wait.
Governmental.
Oh, where they put them now? I thought you mean where they say they're
No,
going to put them.
No, where they put them now.
Oh. And Mr. Diaz didn't clarify that they are renting from the Minister of Culture.
Yes. We know they are renting, but I just wanted to be sure.
Imagine of all the people you could find to rent from, you find to rent from the Minister of Culture, your line minister. I don't know now.
But listen to this. And help us here, Forward. Help us here. Was the PAN movement called and said, listen, we have this offer from the government. We have to give up our land to get this over here. Was they ever consulted with respect to that, if you know?
No, as far as I'm aware, absolutely not. For a matter of fact, what they do is opinion manipulation. So they come and give reasons why the land can't be used. We don't have this, that, all kind of other excuses, and tell us they're going to do this. Not a, do you think this is a good reason or do you think this is a good option? As far as we know as well, the first time we were notified about it was the Prime Minister making remarks. You understand? So it's not Pantrin Bay go discuss and tell us what's going on, you know. We hear the Prime Minister talking about the land that we thought was ours and that it is being given to somebody else, and people, pan man and pan woman, bewildered. We didn't understand what's going on.
But Ramsey Moore is in agreement with anything the Prime Minister presents.
As far as I am concerned, in my opinion, she has been wheeling and dealing. That's what she's been doing. And it is not a representative organization. She has taken on to herself some type of they call her the queen pan, and I don't know if it gone to she head, and she has been making unilateral decisions on her own without consultation. And if there's anything that she does, she comes thereafter to push whatever she thinks or she has done already down the throats of pan man and pan woman. And listen, no dog bark, you know. No dog bark. I've heard that I'm banned from Pantrin Bego meetings. I don't know if it's true. I haven't tested it yet.
You've been banned? Were you given a reason?
I've heard that.
You have heard that. You ain't sure?
So this person who is actually not an elected Pantrin Bego president, because she passed her term and she took another term illegally against our constitution for all kind of spurious reasons. COVID, she says she can't have election. Then she says she will have election after. Then she come in a meeting and by a show of hands, she take they move a motion to extend her tenure for 2 more years. Absolute madness. Our constitution states there's supposed to be elections and ballot, secret ballot. She come and move a motion to continue. Absolute nonsense. And she has continued in office with that. And our ministers have given her taxpayers' money to spend and to administrate over a person who is that dishonest. Even the PNM and the UNC wouldn't dare not hold an election. At least they give you that. So this woman has continued and along the same vein, that is the way she has operated in office. I see very recently now, this next 3 years has passed, a 3-year period where she was in office without being elected. And I've seen very recently that there are to be elections in Pantrin Bego on October the 6th. So at least now it's coming. But boy, I hope the polls tell the story of what Pan Man and Pan Woman have been going through. And they are not fooled by all the glitz and glamour, because very strategically, we had proclamation of Pan, we had Pan Month, we had all this money being spent, bands getting whatever invitations to perform in different things. All like part of the politics, you know. I just wish every year is election in Trinidad, you know. Because all kind of things that's happened around that time, you know. So it looked like the same pattern is being followed. I laughing today telling somebody that, and I saying, but when PNM in power, even around election, like still nothing don't happen, boy. Oh God. Plus the place hard.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting, right? So when we had former President Keith Diaz, he shared a lot of information, and I have to look at. He also indicated that they had a patent for pan back then.
Yeah.
Because this current government was making it feel like if they were the one that secured a patent for the pan, because they call it a GPI. I think it was a GPI. I had the article there.
A GI.
Yeah. Yes, a GI.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had got a GI for the pan.
Yeah.
You know, and we had people in this country already producing pan, you know. Years now, you know. Years now. Tommy, where's the pan factory? In North Carolina? Is it in North Carolina?
No, in Ohio.
Oh, in Ohio. Right.
And Panyard.
Yes. In things. So I basically call all these things that's happening now is election gimmicks. That's how I call it.
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day, this is what I ask, right? So let's go back to the land being taken away from Pancho and Bago.
Yeah.
And was supposedly going to be given to a wealthy Indian businessman to build a cricket academy.
Yeah.
We had Emancipation Day changed to African Emancipation Day.
Yeah, man.
Right? And I asked the question to this. Has the Emancipation Support Committee got half an acre of land from this current government? Half an acre. You don't think it would have been a good idea for if you change the name and you say, well, look, we're giving the Emancipation Support Committee an acre of land here in order for them to put up a structure so they could be self-sufficient rather than having to use the Queen's Park Savannah?
I would like to see what is going to be changed in the curriculum so that we are going to further educate our children so that their minds will be emancipated, so that they will not, you remove Columbus from the coat of arms. I hope we're removing it from the school books. I hope we are taught slavery. I hope we are taught the truth about 1970. I hope at some point in time we are taught the truth about 1990. I hope that level of emancipation takes place in Trinidad and Tobago instead of these just cliche, just window dressing to harp upon. And I'm hearing, all respect to Mr. Stuart Young, stressing on African Emancipation Day and African Emancipation Day. And in real and in truth, in the substance of what emancipation is, what have we done to move to a better position? Okay, where is the specific allocation and in our economy, in our Ministry of Works, in our projects for small and medium enterprises and businesses? Where's that to empower? Where's the recognition? We have had a commission for communities who are at risk and difficult areas, right? They set up a commission. Not one thing has come from that commission. Nothing. For a matter of fact, I was searching diligently to try to find what that commission did. And all that I could find is that they had a competition for a logo some months after. And that's it. Something as important as that. And that came out of the protest, the serious protest that we had in Trinidad and Tobago when 3 black males were killed, innocent black men were killed by the police. And the people, the young people in these communities, Mova, Port of Spain, Cocorite, all over came out and expressed their dissatisfaction and protested, and Trinidad stood still. You set up a commission, you pretend like whatever, yada, 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 and that's it. Man, we joking. We joking in Trinidad and Tobago, you know. We ain't going nowhere. For a matter of fact, we going somewhere, you know. But where we going is not a nice place.
But Fuad, why is it then that in the last election, 70 to 80% of the black people that voted voted for the PNM. Why is it that I have been trying to find one socio-economic statistic where black people are at the top or in the middle? Just one. Is it possible that, we are being biased and there is a statistic out there where blacks on the last 9 years under Prime Minister Rowley has one socio-economic statistics where at the top or in the middle and we are just missing it? Do you know of any?
I don't know of any. I'll go further. Imagine Mr. Alan Warner, one of the few black businessmen who has any substantial weight economically in our society, had to complain.
Yep.
Imagine that.
Yep.
Imagine that. Imagine he's subjected because there are other cartels, business cartels in Trinidad and Tobago that are working actively to crush anyone else. Imagine he had to complain. Imagine he under pressure. even the token, it have a token one.
Yeah. You get one. You get little scrums. You get
Man,
scrums.
even the one under pressure, and people are dominating the other markets. Trinidad is providing for monopolies in certain industries that should not be monopolized. There are cartels that have formed under certain ministers and ministries that are every single opportunity that flows from our state. And let's not get it twisted. Trinidad and Tobago is still a gas base. The money flows from the state, right? The government is the biggest employer, the biggest issue of contracts, etc., right? It flows from the state. There are cartels who are monopolizing the opportunities, and it is not being spread among the people of Trinidad and Tobago, small and medium enterprises. For a matter of fact, small businesses are being crushed. The unavailability of US dollars for them. It's are US for other things, but not for them. It is becoming acutely unbearable. And I feel as though people want to express themselves. I feel as though they want to express themselves politically as well. And they're looking. They're looking. A lot of them looking. I hope they don't respond to the dog whistles that will be blown. Is there some dog whistles that blown? Beep. They don't like.
Yeah.
They don't like me, and they don't like this and don't like that. And there are people who are pretending to be on the other political side or on different political sides who are stoking race to get a response so that people go back to base. Understand that strategy I'm telling you about, A man will put on a yellow and say all your end so to push you back to the next side. You understand what I'm saying? Man,
it just... Okay. Hold on. Let me take this call. Hold on.
Yeah, man.
Caller, welcome. Caller.
Let me say.
Caller.
Oh, shit. Yes.
You're live.
Let me say good night to you. Wall Street.
Good night.
And let me say good night to Uncle Tom.
Good night.
And let me say good night to my brother.
Sounding like my brother Kingsley.
Are you hearing me, Wall Street?
We hearing you loud and clear. Let me, Fuad, I want to thank you for bringing out Kingsley. You bring out Kingsley.
That's what I'm saying. I know that much anyway.
And I want to
Yeah,
tell them, Wall Street, I want to tell them here tonight, I am hearing his father in him. Because during the morning, I just hear the Mickey Mouse. But I am hearing his father, a true patriot to this country.
Kingsley, wait. Nah. You can't disrespect my father like that. Nah.
I laughing at that.
The man cough. You make the man cough.
I laughing at that.
I am hearing the true patriot. You know what I mean? And I know that his father is a fighter for this country, fighter for this poor. He's a gentleman. He's somebody where many youths look up to. And many people could say he's the man trying to fight for African people in this country, many African people, and I respect him a lot. I call him a patriot. I call him a soldier in the army, a general, and that is what he is. May God bless his soul wherever he are. I want to ask you, gentlemen, there, this question, Washington and Fuad. 2024, UNC in power, court, Udicut, ruling in Bagatelle, the Martin, mash up the African and the farmers' crops down there. What do you think would be going on now? So what you are not might be down there protesting.
Yeah.
They will be blocking up the road, saying, oh God, the Indian come from quite Pinal and do that. I ask the question. You see young people, young African people going in agriculture, trying to keep the little boys them who they could pull away from crime and show them how to plant. Look this in the back of the ghetto, you know. That in the heart of the belly of the beast, you know. And I feel proud. I did not know all that behind there. I did not know. And to see every time African people try something in this country, PNM come and they try to pull them down, take it away from them, and sell it because that stadium they build. We could ask the question that how much time that open for the people of Bagatelle and Dogo Martin? How much time it open for the people of Dogo Martin and Bagatelle? We have about 5 swimming pool, 5. Until Lady Youngwood, Mova, Maloney, and areas, and it closed. Nobody going there. They just
Kingsley, ask your question. Go forward. Ask your question.
Yeah. Go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, where's your
well, no, I don't really ask question because I say things and if you want to say what I say and if it makes sense and make common sense and you understand what I'm saying.
We have to break up the program, Kingsley. I want to be on the program.
I mean, I believe that.
Right. So let me let him answer with respect to the protest down there and with respect to the UNC. If the UNC was
no problem.
All right. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
I gotta be. Listen, I'm off where I'm watching.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, blessing,
very much.
So, Fuad, you can answer that question. He wants to know if the UNC was in power and the UNC had gone in and mashed down, mash up, break up, rock up, bring excavator, bring about 10 excavator and get rid of all them crops, what would the people of Trinidad and Tobago be saying today?
Yeah, so I don't know the specific circumstances around it. It is not a significant parcel of land, but it would be significant to whoever was planting there. You know, it would have some effort and work going into it. So I can't 100% comment on it. I saw it yesterday in my news feed in one of my groups, and I recognized one or two individuals, one in particular who is well known for land grabbing as well, and he has some particular matters with some good farmers that I know, where he's taking their lands and occupying their lands and stuff. So I wasn't sure if it was him at work again, right? So that's why I didn't get involved in the issue so much, and I've been quite caught up with some other stuff as well. But regardless, I there you will find no difference with me. I can't stomach evil and oppression, regardless of who it comes from. I don't see race. I see the human race. You know, I would point out certain certain groups have specific issues in the context of our country, but in general, I don't subscribe to that either. I don't subscribe to that notion of us and them or who or what. I don't let people divide and conquer me, right? That's not something that I've been taught at all. So my response is the same to both situations. Regardless, once it is something wrong, I would stand against it. And I would tell you something that I think both Goliath parties are well aware of that. You know? So they just be a little cautious with how they deal with me. You know? Even on the comment that Mr. Kingsley would have said as well this on my morning programs. When you're dealing with different people, you deal with things a little bit differently as well, right? Because you want to overload. When I come on a program where I know the foundation is laid, I know I'll lay a foundation here. So
correct is right.
Yeah, so I could run on that foundation.
Run.
I know my tires traction. I ain't worried. I just laugh. I say when I go on the same 91.9 FM, if I go when Brother David Mohammed, Dr. David Mohammed, usually lectures. If I go on his program or on his hour,
a different story.
But it's a different story.
Different story, yeah.
It's not a different kettle of fish, it's a different kettle of cascadoo. It's a whole different thing.
Time and place. You know, it's interesting to say that, because on the same radio station that you on, they ban me from certain programs. They don't want to, they actually ban me, you know. I mean, think about this, right? And I would say this, we here, WZYE 95.9 is a FCC licensed program. We cannot, if we are found censoring people calls and not taking certain people calls, and we are reported to the FCC, and we have to show them all our phone documents and everything, and they see like we blocking people and things, we getting a big fine, you know.
Trouble, right.
A big fine, you know.
Yeah.
And I just see in Trinidad, people just block people. They don't want this one to call. They don't want, he went out, but he'll be back. They don't want this one to call Tommy. That one can't call this program. He can't call, or we blocking him. Really and truly, boy? Eh?
Yeah.
We got to bring him back in.
Fuad, where is he?
We lost him. Let me see if he's still there? Hello? No, I think we lost him.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi like it get in trouble.
Yeah, Tommy.
Different environment.
But Tommy, you cannot encourage that type of behavior.
Exactly.
You just cannot. Just imagine, Tommy, we are the phone here, and people calling, and we saying, all right, that fella call, we go block he, because he not talking what we want them to talk. We ain't picking up he call. Yeah? And they just get away with that. But them ain't serious. Them not serious. The country ain't serious. And who it is? Cut, or wherever they are. What are they doing? What are they doing? They ain't doing nothing. They could actually listen to them program, you know.
It's not Cut, it's what's the name of that company? Cut is the copyright organization, but it's not the copyright.
Oh no, yeah, the other one. Correct is right. Yeah. What's the other one name? Tat? It's Tat? Tat. Yeah, well, Tat, Cut, Tat. All of them. So folks, breaking news. I just received something to that Roy Cape has passed.
Oh boy, Papi going through it.
Yeah, I just see two persons send me it. Roy Cape, also known as Papi, has gotten his wings tonight. May his soul rest in eternal peace. So this something been forwarded many times, and I think this person sent me this information. Two person actually sent it to me. One person sent it to me. There's a Facebook post. Oh, that one couldn't load, boy. Yeah. So I hope that's accurate. So let's go for the quick break, folks. It's In the Village with Uncle Tommy, Professor Walsheet, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. We'll be right back. I'm going to see if I could get Fuad back. I'm going to see. We'll be right back.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE LP 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
We are back with you. It's In the Village with Uncle Tommy, Professor Walsheet, and you. I'm Fuad Abu-Bakr on WZYE 95 and Fuad Abu-Bakr. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Right?
Fuad. Add Fu.
Yeah, Fuad. Let me put that. Fuad.
Yeah, man. Sorry, I got knocked off a little bit there.
No, somebody that sees the PM internet you have. Yeah. Yeah. You know,
I wish we really had a people's national movement, and I wish we really had a united national Congress in the real meaning of those words. I am saddened by the fact that people have stolen our politics from us, and that financiers.
You froze, Fuad.
Okay.
He froze. But
yeah, frozen.
Somebody sent me the notice also. Sent me a text also that.
Okay, you're frozen. You're back. You're back.
Yeah. I see it's been a little bit. It's rough, boy. It's rough that is what has happened to our politics. That people come with their money, and I know the parties face it in a very, very serious way. And they take all the positions of influence and power, where delivery can be made. They buy those positions, and then they serve themselves. And you see the decent fellas, some of them, I don't know how decent, but they're there in the back benches, sulking, nothing. You call them, hey, MP, because you could reach them, you could reach some of them. Some of them are no real good too, I just call them, boy, pressure. What you could do, boy? The people up here need this, the people, boy, it's the pressure. I can't. So what are you bothering with the thing for?
But as you say that, think about this, right? The Minister of Education say she don't get enough money to do school repairs.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
She said talk to the Minister of Finance.
Yeah. So the Ministry of Education gets $8.022 billion.
Yeah.
The highest allocation in the last budget.
Yeah.
It was 569 more than last year allocation.
Yeah.
Right? 569 million more. So if that is your excuse, then when you go to a school to do ribbon cutting, you're doing that to fool the people then.
Right. I don't know where the money going.
Oh, I don't know either.
I don't know where the money going, and we need to be educated enough to do our financial accounting and to check through, the end of the year after the money has been spent. But do we really have that level of accountability? Well, they say 2 billion was missing.
Yeah, the economists, 2 billion every year. 2 billion
in unaccounted for.
Unaccounted for.
I mean, and we have issues with accountability still in Trinidad and Tobago. We have issues with contractors who really just about the money. They don't care about the country. They don't care about the children. They don't care about nothing but money. And they do shoddy work.
Exact. I was not going to say that.
I'll get away with it.
I saw a video
with
a bridge where they spent X amount of $1 million on, and in no time, the thing mashing up it. And let's take this call.
Yeah.
Caller, welcome. You have a question?
Yes, sir. Hello, good night. You hear me?
You loud and clear.
Yes, good night, Professor Wall Street, Uncle Tommy, Mr. Ford Jr.
Fuad. I get it right. Fuad. I write it down. Fuad.
Sorry for mispronouncing.
Fuad.
No, that's all right, man. Good evening, sir.
Listen carefully. I'm calling from the street because I was listening to you all, but I just want to say something quickly.
Yes.
Okay? Calling from New York.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hearing the controversy with the Pan Trinbago.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to just point out one thing before I ask Mr. Abu-Bakr Jr. Question on Pan Trinbago.
Yeah.
We just had the West Indian Day parade. And the West Indian Day parade has between 2 to 4 million people attending annually. It's the largest parade in North America. In fact, my neighbor was doubted me, and I had to go and put the stats on. Now we're talking about diversification, and it's coming back to Mr. Ford Khan. We have a lot of problems with the school system. You're talking about the 8.4 billion. We're talking about the fact that the school in Toko or somewhere, it can't open properly. They don't have. You have St. George's. You have $80 million not paid by the central government for the national insurance for the nurses. You have UDCOT breaking down. I hear what happened recently down in Diego Martin and Bagatelle, Somersap, limes, everything being grown, and you have UDCOT coming and cutting down everything. So now here's my substantive question. First question is, do you agree, Mr. Baker, with the recent land for building swap for the Pan Trinbago land that was allocated, that was never developed, for the building in Port of Spain? That's the first question. The second question, which ties to diversification. I have told Professor Wall Street and Uncle Tommy and everybody who listens that Trinidad and Tobago is going to face a serious cash crunch, and it's coming already with the 80 million not being paid into the system. It's coming because Ms. Nyan Gatsby Dolly cannot pay for new buildings. They've only developed 3 schools within 9 years. The whole sets of schools that were built under the previous partnership government have been been vandalized. So the question is, there is a lot of opportunity. You talked about Ohio, where the pan is being...
We lost him there.
$6,000 a pan piece for 110.
You're not hearing him?
Are you hearing me?
No, just go on and ask the question. I will give you the question.
Yes, I'm going to ask you this question.
What's your second question? Yeah.
How is your faction going to help develop, diversify, and bring the pan the real way to all over the world, starting here in New York? Because there is a lot of places all over North America that the pan is not being heard. What is Pan Trinbago that you could give opportunities for, especially people of our hue, black people, who play pan, who can come out and go all over the world and develop and push this piece of instrument that was the only instrument developed in the 20th century? That is my question.
Thank you very much.
Say good night with that.
Thank you.
And let's not.
So I have the 2 questions.
Unmute your mic.
Yeah, don't worry. I have it under control a little bit, man.
All right. Go ahead. So take question number 1.
Yeah, so the first question, absolutely disagree with the swap. A promise is a comfort to a fool. We have basically gotten a promise of a room in a Ministry of Culture building. That cannot equate to 13 acres or 11 acres of land and partially completed building, which they spent somewhere around $5 million or something thereabouts on. That it does not equate to me. If there is an issue in terms of the documentation, just sort it out. Because I'm sure that Mr. Ambani not going to come and build whatever he's going to build without proper documentation, not so?
Yep.
So what's the problem? And
Yep.
find 13 other acres somewhere. The state has endless land in Trinidad and Tobago, you know. Access to endless land, you know. Just give the man 13 acres somewhere else if you feel that is such a good deal. But leave Pan Trinbago with what they have. Leave Panman with a little bit of land now. Oh gosh. If the paperwork had to fix, well, fix it now and feel proud that you do something for the tens of thousands of pan people in this fraternity. And if you want to give us an office in town, well, all right, we go take a little office in the Ministry of Culture building, because that is what it is. It's not Pan Trinbago building. It's the Ministry of Culture building. You're giving us 2 offices in. Well, it's just stupid if you pan man strip it out. Yeah. We have land to develop. We have land that would enable us to do a pan factory. Like Mr. Martin Daly also said in his article, there's actually someone from South Trinidad who published proposals for the land now. All kind of different economic activities that pan people can develop on that big site, on that tremendous site that we already have. And to be honest, when Miss Beverly Ramsey-Moore just got into office, and she had a big mandate, because we moved Mr. Diaz for whatever issues we thought we had with him, and Miss Ramsey-Moore came into office, and I went to Miss Ramsey-Moore's office and I said, listen, one of the biggest assets that we have is this land. We need to develop it. And she said, yes, thing, whatever. And then back to square one. Mama guy, we get some bush cut once and some rant on Facebook about whatever, and nothing thereafter. All the money that we have paid in rent as an organization, if we took that money and we just completed the first floor structure and moved in, by now we would have been able to complete the entire building and develop otherwise. We paying 50 plus because they're separating the car park from the building. I think it's somewhere around $80,000. You could correct me. For renting from the culture minister. I mean, come on. In 2024, that to me is not good enough. To me, in terms of governance, that is not good enough to me. And that is why I take issue. Not because who is a woman, and then the next line she just come and says because she's Tobagonian. I know G's and ages. I wish I could move to Tobago and relax on Store Bay and Englishman Bay and ain't worry about crime, but now we have to worry about crime even in Tobago. What is woman talking about? It is the fundamental issues that we have issue with. And of course, as the caller spoke about the second question, which pertained to the advancement of the instrument and the entire the entire economic process to the rest of the world and to the United States, definitely more needs to be done. We need to do a lot more work. That is not my forte. I am part of a group, and there are others who are more skilled. Some of them in the United States now, doing work and performing, etc. as well. Right? So blessings to Mr. Gulston and others as well. We lost the professor there.
Yeah, we lost him, but
he will be found soon, man. He'll come back. Right?
Yeah, he'll be back in.
So there's a lot to be desired, And I hope that the smoke and mirrors don't confuse people. I hope that the injection of cash that has seen this and that and or this event, that event, and this celebration, and that is not the determining factor in the way we vote. I hope that we look at policy. I hope we look at track record. I hope we look at what has been done and has not been done to make PAN and the entire economic activity more sustainable. I hope that we look at the development and the lack of development under this administration of all bands, not the focus on the bands that are friendly to you or your friends and the big bands, respect to them as well, but to the bands in our communities, the bands that do this human service, getting you together in this space, teaching them. Boy, tremendous social work that is done by steel bands. And I was even speaking to someone today, an official, and I was saying, my band not going to Panorama at the moment, but what we do is much more than that. We in this, that's not what it's about, that's not all that it is about. And if we are in need of assistance, then the authorities need to assist the bands. That is their job. So we hoping that there even will be change in Panchenbago as well. And we hope that it will be changed for the better. Right? We expect that it will be changed for the better as well.
But Fuad, let's talk about Panchenbago, right? And I have to give Key Diaz credit.
Mm-hmm.
And here is why, right? In 2017, boy, or 2018, one of those years, I came to Trinidad because we had a company up here, was willing to invest 1 million US in Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago. So I met with Kennedy Silver, who at that time was the chairman of NCC.
Yeah, chairman, yeah.
Right. I met with Key Diaz, who was the president of Panchenbago. I met with Masimba, who was the president of Tuco, and I met with Rosalind Gabriel, who at that time was the president of the NCBA, I think. And there was another organization, which a guy named Lopez. Is Lopez was the name?
You know the thing, man. You know the thing, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I came there, right? And we signed a contract with Panchenbago. We signed a contract with Tuco. We signed a contract with NCBA to do streaming outside of Trinidad and Tobago. Not in Trinidad, outside of Trinidad and Tobago. And they had the amount of monies that they were going to make. Let me just take this call and put it on hold. Caller, just hold on, caller, hold on. Just hold on, caller. Right? And they had in the contract the amount of monies they were going to make on a yearly basis. This wasn't Panorama come and they got Panorama. You went at Panorama and they got a little money and so on and so forth, right? However, it was important for a governmental organization to sign off on the contract. And the NCC refused to sign off on the contract. Refused. So the company up here bailed out. They didn't want to come to Trinidad. They wanted to make movies too as well. From Carnival, from Panorama, from Skinner Park, and all these things. And the NCC, look, I just haven't made them contracts in public, and I just leave it. We don't even stop people from streaming Carnival outside of Trinidad and Tobago. We have contract with Panchenbago. That contract expire. We have one with NCBA still in existence and Tuco still in existence. But we take this call. Caller, welcome.
Wall Street and Uncle Tony, good night to you.
Good night.
Good night to you, listeners.
Good night.
And good night to you, Mr. Baker. It's a pleasure to hear your voice. Well, Stevie, let me first say that I would appreciate more if you had your own program on 91.9. When the Titan of Democracy, female not there, let it.
You got caught.
He got cut off.
Look like Wall Street dropped too.
More.
Yeah, look like Wall Street
You
dropped.
have your own program on 91.9. I would like to see that. In fact, I'll push for that. I wanted to ask Mr.
Wow, he's in and out. So
Yeah.
Wall Street dropping also. Wall Street
When
actually
Dr. Rowley become Prime Minister, what he did for the African community, and under which political party they make PAN the national instrument. That's all I want to ask, Mr. Abu-Bakr.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You get it, two of them? The first one
Yeah, I
is
think the first one was
PAN.
asking what Mr. Rowley had done for African people.
No, the second one is African people. The first one is PAN.
Was PAN?
Yeah, what he's done for the PAN industry. Yeah.
What he's done for the PAN? Well, the proclamation of PAN and supposedly moving the 3 ships and putting the PAN on the coat of arms. I mean, it's something, but again, big image, small substance, and we can't have that things are done and we are fooled by those things and we don't actually have delivery of what we need. You know, we can't have the lack of delivery. What I'm saying is that putting the pressure, I turning up the furnace on them, Bands in Trinidad and Tobago, we have a serious problem with our security of tenure, land tenure, right? Many bands in Trinidad and Tobago, community bands, squatting on lands, in the back of a pan man yard, all kind of thing, boy, all kind of pressure. If you really want to give PAN the respect that it deserves, and you want it to be the national instrument, and you believe that it has a place in helping to deal and curb with crime and social ills in the community, then empower bands. Let the corporations, let the Commissioner for State Lands and other entities investigate these circumstances that bands are under and empower them, help them. You know what we want to do, Anselm and others?
Yeah.
We want to go to bands and have empowerment seminars where we teach them how to structure their organizations.
Yep.
How to apply for funding. We actually want to have a clearinghouse where we go help you do it in Trinbago. You know what I mean? We don't have the templates. We already have the connections. We are the official representative for you. Tell us your issue. Tell us your problem. We go advocate on your behalf. We will give you what you need. Train you with the skills. Empower you. Make sure you set up your organization registered properly. You are able to function. Give you the skills to impact your community. Develop the skills that they already have. I'm talking about men who living for their community, who taking their last dollar out of their pocket to give something to eat to the young boy who come in to play a little pan, or the young girl who come hungry to play some pan and learn. I talking about people who for decades in this, not me. I ain't even reached 40 yet. I talking about people who love this thing.
Yeah. And the last one is something about the national instrument. What did Prime Minister do for the national instrument, or something to that effect?
Right.
That was the last one.
No, well, I think it's just the fact that they passed it through Parliament as the official national instrument. They recognize, and I mean that's great, That's great. But as Senator Helen Francis, and I'm so proud of that young man in Parliament, as Senator Helen Francis said in his contribution to the debate, that he echoed my sentiments, and I echo his, that it can't be just tokenism.
Yep.
That when reports are made back to Parliament, it has to be that there are substantial moves in a positive direction to carry the entire industry forward. That's all.
Yeah. Fuad, I wanted to add something, right? I have an idea for the steel bands in Trinidad and Tobago that will make them money 365 days out of the year. I'm not gonna say it now. I'm not gonna say it now.
Wonderful.
We go talk about it off air. Because
Wonderful.
just as the idea I bought with respect to streaming,
Yeah.
still, I know that when Panorama come, can you just stream Panorama and he may charge $9.99 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And a one-time thing, and they make a little money that day. And then after that, it's back to starvation.
Yeah.
You understand? Back to starvation. Right? I mean, we could forward revisit the streaming activities that could make plenty money. And another activity that could make, I mean, really and truly, bands will have to stop worrying about, boy, you know, give me a little something when Panorama comes so we could pay the band players. You know what I mean? Always looking for an allocation from the government.
Yeah.
In order to pay their players. So we can talk about that otherwise.
Yeah, wonderful. And you have to be open, and that has to be our aim and our effort. That has to be the aim and the effort, sustainability and progress. Right?
Yeah.
Don't give me allocation just so that I could survive this year.
That is it.
You know, put something in place where I could manage myself. And I not to come back to you over and over. Even Panjimbigo as an entity, if it was empowered in a certain way and it had its mind in the right place,
correct,
it would be able to then, even apart from government funding, which, you know, fine, it would be able to generate more income and then disseminate that income to its members so that they could build as well the economic framework. I don't know if it's dispossessed and impoverished that we are supposed to stay. I don't subscribe to that. Well, as a man, I don't subscribe to that.
But I want to believe it. I want to believe it, and I could be wrong, is that there's a strategy by this current government to keep certain people in a certain condition that will always have to depend on them for what they need. It becomes a dependency syndrome. Whereas that as soon as Panorama is coming around, a man know you go get a little $500 stipend or you go get $1,000. Are you allowed to play for more than one band?
They are trying to stipulate now that they want you to not in the same category. They're trying to rein back on the excessive bands.
But how they go control that?
By your names, by recording your names and trying to ensure that it's not. But you know, men that try to beat the system, but it's difficult.
That's difficult, man.
It's difficult, but you want to have more people playing pan, right? You want to have more people, so you have to build the bands and you have to build the smaller bands as well, because they are feeders to the bigger bands, and you have to market this thing, you know, guys.
Yeah.
Because all kind of other subculture and entertainment and music is being heavily marketed to our youth.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And we have to be careful because young people playing pan. But I don't know that a lot of young people are enjoying the entertainment of pan. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Fully understand. You see, and let me tell you this, I ain't gonna lie to you. When I listen to you, in the mornings and them program, I just feel kind of sorry. I know you're in a different space. You're in a different space, but the information, you have to reduce the intensity of the information. Because I hear somebody call you and say, well, why you just talk so long? Yeah, you need to talk shorter, And I'm like, wow, your mic muted.
Yeah, I laughing. You want to hear me laughing?
Yeah, no, I hear that they say, why you
Oh,
talking
God.
so long? You need to talk shorter, right? And it's like, these people are in Alice in Wonderland. They had to be in Alice in Wonderland, and it's like you giving them information. Information is key. Take the information, but them take the information and see how they could come with ad hominem attacks, right? All of a sudden, you don't like Beverly Ramsey more because she's a woman. All of a sudden.
Yeah.
And when I listen to I said, but how them go there? But I could understand it because, they had to defend the PNM by any means necessary. Anyway, let me go for that.
Yeah.
So,
it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. I love my people, and but I just laugh because a friend of mine, a spiritual person, my pastor partner, just tell me, they say, crucify Christ and free Barabbas.
Oh,
So he just laugh at me and say, yeah, just remember, it's not easy.
It ain't easy, boy. It ain't easy, boy.
And I love them still. And I would sacrifice and I would fight for them and their children. In the context of our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, because I draw on spirituality from the Quran as well. They stone him. He preaching a message of equality and they stone him.
Yeah.
And it is said in the Quran that the angel came to him from God and said, just give the order to destroy them. And he said to the angel, nah,
yeah.
they don't believe, but their children may believe. And now that happened in a place called Taif. In that place now in Saudi Arabia, everybody is Muslims. The whole yeah, you know what I mean? So
As you say that, and that is why, even though they ban me from programs, I just still call the program to get in, even though they ban me.
yeah. I love my people. And then God does still give you the little inspiration that you need. Because it's work that we're doing, and we ain't doing it for mankind. We're doing it because that is our responsibility, that God has given us knowledge and wisdom on whatever light, and we have to share it.
It's like a ministry. It's like a ministry.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Pauline, he say, I have a quote for you because I say like we do quotes and whatever, right? So I have a quote for you. He say it is insane to try to please everybody.
Yep.
Don't try to please everybody.
You can't. Yep.
You know? So God sent him this morning and I take that and I gas again, I run again.
Yeah, it's true, because I just do the same thing too. Because listen to this, I think that part of what I am trying to do as well, and what we are trying to do here as well, is to kind of educate people. I'm not trying to reach. Listen, if I reach one person, if we here on WZYE 95.9 FM reach one person, we have done our job.
Yeah, man.
And that one person reach another one person, and that other one person reach another one. It's like network marketing. One person bring a next person, the next person bring another person. So I have been giving out some statistics on radio in Trinidad and Tobago. And one of these statistics that I was shocked at is that under Prime Minister Rowley, there's 26.3%. As a matter of fact, let me do this for you. 1 minute. I want to get this for you, right? Because people just say how Wall Street does make up stuff. Oh, here it go. Here it go. Either make up stuff.
Yeah, making up stuff, boy. Oh gosh.
Yeah, because he hate the PNM and he don't like the PNM. He hate Rowley. Caller, welcome. Caller.
Good night, Worship.
Good night.
Good night, everybody on the live.
Good night.
Hey, good
Worship, I was on their live, right? Well, TC them live first, right? And I think it's KFC the man in.
Yeah.
The government cutting some cut down he little grant he was getting for little children or whatever. And because of we just say Bundy fire Bundy PNM. But let me tell you this. Dale was saying now you can't know something with the hands that feeding you. You can't burn the hands that feeding you. So it's okay for one person to get a little grant, but that one person saying other the rest of the people in the country suffer and it's wrong for you to open mouth and say something about it.
Yeah,
so they had to cut that man grant for that. You tell me how, and I sure you see own black people call our shots on them. You won't same people call our shots on them. You understand?
Yeah.
So you think if these people are not really like the own people in serious?
Yep.
Huh? They would have watched one black man pocket full and the rest of the black people the house empty. Huh? Just one black man to be in power. And who behind him?
All right, thank you.
Don't you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, we
You
listen.
can't buy the hands of feeding you. Why you can't do that?
Well,
Why you can't do that?
What they're saying is that if it's a political party giving you a voucher, you're supposed to stay quiet because they give you a voucher.
I find that is wrong.
Yeah, I agree with you. Thank you so much.
It is wrong, and they cannot stop the man, little grandfather, because he took not only for himself but for the entire country.
Correct is right.
You understand?
Yep.
Yeah, that's wrong.
So I think, well, I understand. I understand the out what he's saying, but at the end of the day, when it talking come out like this and have them and talk too, you can't be saying something about the government and then backing them backing them up at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Alicia.
Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
It's like kind of like a two-tone kind of way. Like he's saying something and saying something else, and it's wrong.
Yeah.
If you're talking the government and paying them supporters on his life, they're kind of slow. They're kind of shipping Wall Street. They are trying to. They don't understand what he's trying to say. He's talking about them, but then saying something to back them back after. It doesn't make no sense. His life not making no sense at all. Because he's not getting to the exact point. As he say, you can't buy the hands of feeding you.
Yeah. Right.
But if Roland, if he not getting nothing for Roland, why he ain't come out fat and I don't know what time it is. Instead of backing them up all the time, so come out like this and heavy them and talk. You know what I mean?
Thanks, Alicia.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
You know, let me say this, a government supposed to be taking care of the people of the country.
Yeah, regardless.
My opinion should have nothing to do with taxpayers' money and you taking care of the people of the country. I have to have an opinion. So if you giving me a voucher, that means to say I supposed to be silent.
Yeah.
I can't say anything. That's not supposed to be not in a democracy.
Yeah,
or is it a democracy?
Yeah, that level of victimization, but it takes place, and that's terrible. Our free media is not so free, you know.
Yeah, I can say that again.
All they are a little free right now, but in so much as they can control with money, they control.
Right.
You know, and that's terrible.
Yeah, that's not. I just say that. I send some opinion pieces to Express and Guardian. You know, they never print none of them.
Right.
No. Not like they edit it or no.
Yeah.
None. Because they're figuring that them editorial look like they're taking the PNM to task, boy. We could go after them, but we had to go after them more, a little kind of more simpler than what he coming with. He coming with too much facts.
Yeah.
You understand? You know, they could be on the balance beam because of course them just get contract from the government too.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the status quo is such that they are intertwined. I say the intertwined nature of money and politics has reduced the real sense of democracy that's supposed to exist, and it is really not. It's not a democracy. We rubber stamp the people who go out to the polls, rubber stamp one way or the next, but the decisions, the people who are placed in power in the parties they're decided by the big financiers, etc. And they control the media, they control the money for the campaigns. And then, as a former minister, Mr. Jack Warner said, who pay the piper, call the tune.
Yeah.
I never forget that, because he just bring it real, you know.
Yep.
He more real than a lot of them. It might not be right, you know, but real. And he paid the piper, so he called the tune. So it have some people paying the pipers. And these fellas piping out with politics. Professor, they piping it out.
But you know something else? Think about this, right? In an election in Trinidad and Tobago, the Africans or blacks, whichever you want to call them, and the Indians are the only people, when you go to the voting booth, can decide an election. There's not enough Syrian in Trinidad and Tobago in order to decide an election. There's not enough Chinese in Trinidad and Tobago in order to decide the election. There's not enough of those other individuals in order to decide an election. However, when an election is decided, especially for the PNM, there is those financiers who benefit immensely.
Immensely, yeah.
Immensely. And you know what makes it even worse? When I heard the Prime Minister going to Lavantil and tell the poor people, wean yourself off the government, I said, but wait a minute. How come Stuart Young family and NCB Global and weaning themselves off the government? How come Faris Arawi collecting all that rent from the government and weaning themselves off the government? So I'm saying all these ministers who have business and collecting from the government, taxpayers' money, how come then they don't want to wean themselves off the government? And what happens, Fuad, is that internalized oppression now comes from when we, the black people now, internalize what they think about us, and we say the same thing about ourselves. And I'm going to give you a quick example. I remember when Fitzgerald Hines saw a fella begging in front of Massey. And you know the first thing he said? I was looking for the piper in him.
Yeah. Lord,
that's what's called internalized oppression. You as a black man looking for the worst of the worst in another black person. The man, you don't know what the man's situation is, but based on internalized oppression, you are looking for the piper in the fella.
Yeah.
You understand? And it just goes on and on and on and on and on.
Man looking for the piper in a homeless person and then piping out with politics.
Correct.
Piping out with politics. Instead of you put yourself in a position where you could deliver to the people.
Deliver. Do it now, man.
Where you could level up the playing field. Where you could say, hey, here what's going on. All you take it easy now. Is everything all you have already.
Correct.
Take it easy a little bit. You see these small businesses, you see these medium-sized businesses. We have to build this too, because everybody deserves to have a decent living standard in Trinidad, and we need a economy that is strong across the board with a strong middle class, a strong economic small and medium business class. Instead of you put yourself in a position that you could do that. You piping out with politics. Every term.
Every term.
Just piping out with politics.
Let's take this call.
And a few getting extremely rich.
That is it. The rich getting richer so they could create opportunities for the poor. Caller, welcome. Caller.
Tommy and Fuad Khan.
No, Fuad Abu-Bakr.
Fuad Abu-Bakr, not Khan.
Fuad Abu-Bakr.
Like the doctor.
He must be on the mind. Yes, Fuad. Where's my train of thought? Yes. Yeah, you were talking about the black people. I said the worst enemy, a black man worst enemy is himself. People know that, right? You were just talking about, or is it Wall Street?
Dr. Claude Anderson. Dr. Claude Anderson.
What is that?
No. Go ahead.
Yes, on Wall Street, people say the 1% or the people with the money taking this. And let me tell you something. Years ago, when I was young, there was a Syrian man, and then they had a company. I can't remember which one is Syrian. Had a company this years and years ago. Had a company, and they listened well. The government said they're going to build 100 of schools, real schools. You know what he said? Because to a group of people, he said, "Good." He opened a tile factory, cement factory, bricks, and all kind of thing. And what happened? He got all the jobs to build the schools. There are no black people. You know, people say that with any company that the government just go to them and they could hold the government. You know, there's always be taken. You see, we have no control over any big business, as it just said, right? We are not owners of anything in a large way for our government to hire. So these people will sit down comfortable, you know. They own the government, you know. As he said, the same man who built the thing said, listen to me. Business build a country, not political parties. Political parties are just there. Remember, it's our money they have. He said, business build a country. All over the world, business build a country, not a political party. It's who own the business. People like even in America, the Jews or whoever it is, own the government, the people in office.
Thank you, Mr.
You know, so we always at this end sitting down, you know, this kind. If you have a company, it's a small company, small that could just do mediocre, you know, just a little bit of work. You know.
Thank you so much.
So you have to look at that too.
Thank
Yes.
you. Hold on, let's take this other call.
Sure.
Caller, welcome. You have a question for
Good
me?
night.
Good night. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, I'm calling from
Arima, welcome, caller. First time caller?
Yeah, first time caller. I was late tonight on the program, so I just come in and I just call one time too. So I still want to catch up with what you all have tonight. What is the topic about?
No, well, we have Fuad Abu-Bakr here, and we're talking about things happening in Trinidad and Tobago. We was talking about Pancho and Tobago, and we was just talking about issues that are being faced in Trinidad and Tobago.
Fuad, Anderson here.
Yeah, man. You not to say that. You not to say that. I don't get the points.
You're talking about the issues in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
Of course.
From a foreign perspective.
Okay, so what as I was talking about is that why I set up this party politics thing where it have PNM, UNC, and like that is a kind of stigmatize something that does stigmatize the people of the country with, because at the end of the day, these political parties, they need the people of Trinidad and Tobago to put them which part there is. So it's like one on the left side, one on the right side, and we in the middle. We the people, so they need to take we out of the middle to put each one of them to be on the top. I want to know why it is Trinidad and Tobago can come together now and take somebody from the middle and put them to run our country. That is what I want to know.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, Fuad.
Yeah. And that is what we have to reach in terms of our maturity. Even I saying that is about race, because there is a few interconnections between poverty and opportunity and race in Trinidad and Tobago. But it's not about race again alone. Eh? It is about class and money. So those who reach to a certain status of economic wealth, many of them, not all, it might have a little exception. I always leave an exception. Their behavior is such that is counterproductive to the majority. Not all, but the majority. And it is that behavior, that embodying the oppression, that our past colonial masters had, that the past enslavers had, that crass capitalism breeds in a weak human being. It is that is eating at the core of our society. That is eating the core. I used to laugh and sing gypsy song. Somebody thieving the soul of the
Soul of the
nation.
nation. Somebody, yep.
I used to laugh because he ended up in government, and I don't know if he's thinking, you know.
He's stealing his soul of the
I
nation.
ain't saying that. I'm saying
I saying that.
and it is such a shame that you find yourself in a position where you sing and you speak against it, and then you become, and God forbid that day. I in international politics now, as we wind down, because I see the time.
Yeah.
It's a shame that those who have suffered the atrocity of the Holocaust and the indignity and the murder and torture at the hands of the far-right Nazi, etc., during that period of time, could now come and subject another people to murder and cleansing and destruction, and that is a real shame. That is a shame.
You know, as you say that, I pull up some statistics. Let me give you some statistics. I was shocked. Well, not really shocked, but I like to deal with facts, right? So I went to no, it's not there. I gotta get it over here. I went to and I was looking at the crime index for the Caribbean. All right, let me give you that quickly. All right, here it is. So the crime index for the Caribbean, it ranks Caribbean countries. No, that is the safety index. Safety index. You don't even want me to tell you about the safety index, but here's the crime index. In 2016, the crime index for Trinidad and Tobago was 72.6, the highest in the Caribbean. 2017, 70.2, the highest in the Caribbean. 2018, 72.2, the highest in the Caribbean. 2019, 74.0, the highest in the Caribbean. 2020, 73.2, the highest in the Caribbean. 2021, 70.9, the highest in the Caribbean. 2022, 71.4, the highest in the Caribbean. 2023, 70.6, Trinidad and Tobago, the highest in the Caribbean. In no, did I say 2024? That was 2023. In 2024, so far, Haiti is number one and Trinidad is second. Haiti is at 77.9 and Trinidad and Tobago is at 70.8 from a crime index perspective in the Caribbean, right? And when you put out these facts is a stubborn thing, Fuad. It's a stubborn thing. The crime index, we are at the top, and we make all kind of excuse. But well, the prime minister, he go stop people from killing people on the street. He go going up with, you know what I mean? All these excuses. And I say this all the time: a fish doesn't rotten from the tail.
Yeah.
It's simple. So if this person is asking a question to you, Fuad, let me see what is this. What are some of the solutions? Let me see. What are your views on curbing crime? Any solutions?
Yeah, but the power is with those who are in office to make some of those solutions. I pray that the education that we are trying to share here and otherwise as well can help people to make better decisions. But we swimming against a stream. I have outlined a number of things that need to be done in terms of curbing corruption, in terms of reform of the police service, in terms of bringing justice to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I ain't talking about just the courts. We reach a situation where I think we need to have community forums where we we deal with people's issues between each other to prevent conflict, you know, aided by community policing. So it don't result in violence or whatever. Before it reach there, if people can get a timely intervention, then a lot of what we see taking place in the communities would be curbed. Corruption is rampant in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm sorry to say, in our protective services, even in our judiciary as well, and we need to sort it out. We can't keep spinning wrong and wrong, you know. It's just wrong and wrong. You see, it is such a difficult task that our governments don't want to embark upon it. It shakes the very fabric of what they stand on. So they're afraid.
Yeah, let me say this, eh? I don't think you should have do this show, you know. You want me to tell you why? Because people now on 91.9 looking for the fire. This is it. This is the person that we looking for now. That's yeah, man. Different strokes for different folks. Time and place.
When you administer medicine, you don't administer it in the same way to different people. You know, you have to.
Yeah, correct.
Otherwise, you're drunk. You're drunk the person.
I understand.
And it's love. It I love on the station. And let me tell you something as well, Professor. It have plenty silent, intelligent people, you know.
Correct.
Remember, empty vessels is make the most noise.
Correct. I agree with you.
It have plenty silent, educated people who look on and listen and tell me afterwards, hey, this, hey, that thing, you know, blah, you know. So I don't study the noise by the ignorant few too much.
Here we go. So folks, put your closing comments in the chat. Put your closing comments in the chat. Put your closing comments in the chat. So Fuad, we really appreciate you joining us here, man. This was 2 wonderful hours, man. We have to do this a little more often.
Yes, Fuad. We have to do this again because I still have some more questions about Pancho Bego I needed to ask you. We'll talk about it at the next session because you seem to be very much involved with Pancho Bego.
Yeah, man. So any closing words before you go, my brother?
Yeah, I want to extend my absolute love to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. My effort is one of love and of sacrifice for people. This is not a paid program, Professor. I don't know if it's pay other people, right? And likewise,
you don't pay people. You don't pay no money.
Oh well, likewise on our morning, and we have gone against the grain. I am going against the grain, and there's very little, even thanks for going against the grain. You put yourself into challenges, to be honest, but God is my protector and my guide, and I feel as though what I'm doing is my duty as a believer and as a human being and as a man, and as a leader, as a father. So that is why I do what I do. And it's not about race, it's about a human race. Let us look beyond the divisions that they have created for us, and let us forge a better future for all of ourselves. The people should have the power. I went to a conference very recently, and my South African friend, I know Amandla, which means power, right? Mandela used to say it a lot, and the ANC, etc. But the response is away too, which I didn't know. So it's a call and a response. Amandla means power, and away too means to us, to the people. It is time for the people of Trinidad and Tobago to take back their power. to take back their politics, to take back their resources, to demand what they deserve. Right? So that's my closing words. My brothers.
Thank you, man. We appreciate that so much, man.
Thank you.
We appreciate the time and everything.
Thank
Love
you
and
all very
respect
much
all the
for
time.
having me.
Yeah,
And
man.
God bless you all. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, man. Bless.
Thank you, and blessings to you too.
Yeah, all right. So there you have it, Tommy boy. Tommy, gonna go for the break, and when we come back, we're gonna wrap up. Stick and stay, folks. Put your closing quotes in the chat. Put your closing quotes in the chat. You can also send your voice notes as well. We'll be right back.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
Tommy, we are back with you. Let me play this voice note quick here. This person sent this voice note a little while. Let me play this voice note.
Hi, good evening to the panel inside and the panel outside. I'm taking this opportunity to send this voice note because I am multitasking. All right? Yeah, football, yeah, cricket.
Good.
You have in the village here. Mr. Barker, I'm wondering, you have a party. What would be different with your party? Because there are people out here who are very, very familiar with the labels. There are people who, they're in yellow and they're in red. But if ever you say something that sounds against the red will come down on you like a ton of bricks. Vice versa. Say something against the yellow, and it's the same khaki pants, short and shining. But would your party be different? There are people who will hear an explanation, but put their own twist to it. So like they said, Diego Martin, the stadium is for the people, yes, but the stadium have to be maintained. Now people planting, and we were told that the crop had finished. They will be paid for what they planted. They will be given an opportunity to go somewhere, but you know, you're not hearing that part of it. All you're hearing is the government don't like black people and it's young people and they take away the land from them. Oh gosh, boy. Mr. Barker, there's a book that some people read from called Dotuishness. And there are some talk show hosts. That is the basis of the operation. Okay? That book. Where they only looking to pelt mud. They want, when something good come out, hear what they say? That is an election gimmick. That is why it happened. Or, well, that is the government. They have to do that. That's what they're getting paid for. Other things, they treat it like if, nah, that's not true, that's lie, that's only fake. Are you going to be something different? I ain't hear you so far pelting that kind of modern thing like how sometimes they go to, they go along, come along, talk show hosts and them. It's just about 4.5 of them, not much. They always want the audience or the guests to go down a certain kind of road, pelt mud. And my position is, listen, in athletics, don't focus on the opponent in terms of, I don't want him to beat me, so you know, I go in and do put stone in his shoes. No, focus on your training, right? Get your strength, your agility, your flexibility, your speed, your endurance. Get these things and go and compete. Don't get stoned to throw in the competitor's shoe and hoping that he won't be able to run good so that you will win. No, that do-to-ishness. All right? So I am wondering what you will come up with that will be so different that people who ain't supporting red or ain't supporting yellow, that they could say, hey, I want to go there. Thanks for your response. God night.
Okay, Tommy, sorry about that, but we get Gordon dissertation there. You know?
After Baka gone.
Yeah, after Ibaka gone, Gordon must just wake up from his sleep and he send that message. Oh God. Tommy, we didn't play one video tonight, boy. Oh, go look at videos. Oh God, Tommy, boy. Anyway, my closing quote is this. I don't think people realize how much strength it takes to pull yourself out of a dark place mentally. So if you're doing that today or any day, I'm proud of you. From where I sit, this is it. The clock on the wall says that's all I like to say, but I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent. When talent does not work hard, and for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. Remember, your circumstances may determine who you are, but you are responsible for who you become. And I want to thank Fuad Abu-Bakr. I want to thank Emery Rousseau. And I want to thank Nikisha Alexander for joining us here tonight. I think we had an excellent, excellent discussion. Go ahead, Tommy.
My closing quote tonight is from John Adams. He says, there are two ways to conquer and enslave a nation. Again, there are two ways to conquer and enslave a nation. One is by the sword, the other is by debt. One is by the sword, the other is by debt. Like I always say, you the man in the mirror, you must become that change you want to see. However, if you look at that mirror and you don't like what you see, do not blame the mirror. Never look down on a person unless you're giving them a hand up. Like I always say, be safe. Love you all. See you at the next session, God willing. Till then, good night.
Thank you, Tommy.
You're welcome.
Okay, let me start. Let me see if there's any text here and any let me see. Okay. Mr. Atlanta said, if it makes you happy, no one's else opinion should matter. Yeah. Mr. Atlanta, don't worry about it. You know, you have become a loyalist here. Let me see now. Okay, here's a voice note. This should be a closing comment.
Thanks for coming. And I believe you spoke from your heart. Not everything I agree with, but the point is I believe you say it how you see it. And you won't persuade it otherwise. Well done. There are neutrals out there who look forward to hearing neutrals. You know, not them who back in this one or who back in that one. All right, so there are so many persons out there, if given the opportunity, they'll be willing to come in and take questions and to share what is their view. Yeah, people who were in the thing. Like, I have no problem in calling names, Mr. Chance. Everybody and their brother know who that is. All right, he has done so much for country. I can't say for party. Yeah. Tax is a stubborn thing, you know, and I know. Who does listen to that? I know who does listen to that. Yeah, so when you're bringing these kind of people, you understand? The public out there would have it easier not to be drunk by red or drunk by yellow. So have a good night.
Tommy.
And we're moving again.
Tommy, you hear that rhetoric that fella just said there? About bringing Mr. Bingo and them is PNM. Them is PNM. Boy, Tommy, if that fella is not in HDD, he's now in H triple DD. He had to be hypocritical, deceitful, disingenuous, and deceitful again. Yeah, Barry, you forget bacteria too. You should have add bacteria in the Gordon Joseph. You hear the fella he wanted to bring? Mr. Bingo. Facts is a stubborn thing. All them just do is anyway, but let me go in the chat and close this thing, Not me, nah. Let me stay away, boy. The end of the day. And watch him now. Look. Look how long I send that voice note, boy. You're not for real. You understand? Tommy, you know, Fuad was correct, you know. You know, you can't please people. I play the voice note, didn't I?
Yep.
Look. Well, you know. And if that man doesn't make a fool of himself, he doesn't feel good. And if you are 100% correct tonight, when he's telling us to bring Mr. Bingo and bring facts as a stomach, the only person he left out is Mr. Bacteria. Is Aisha? Is Aisha? Aisha's? Who is that Aisha's?
Aisha's studio.
I know who that is now.
That's our Aisha Wells.
I don't know. Aisha, where you from?
It's Aisha's studio.
You think so?
Yes.
You feel so?
I feel it's Wells.
Oh, okay. Making a good guess there, boy. Hailey says, power belongeth unto God. Put your trust in God. Jariah says, who really winning this election, boy? Curry says, good night, everyone. Keep safe in this world. This is quite unsafe. Aisha said, Mr. Fuad Abu-Bakr, Mr. Fuad. Fuad, yeah. I write it down here, you know, other Fuad. Fuad Abu-Bakr is a political leader. They will say that PAN can and will have an impact on curbing crime. Albert says Trinidad is like a stage 4 cancer. Only treatment will take some years to cure. Oh, God. Tommy, read that for that comment.
Comment. Trinbago will own both the land. You mean Pan Trinbago? He says that Trinbago will own both the land and the new building, which will be managed by a special purpose company responsible for its administration, maintenance, rental, and other logistical tasks.
Okay. We out of here. Folks, see you Sunday. On Sunday Talk, let's talk politics with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street. We don't know if we're going to have any guests, but we see you later. Bye-bye.
This is oh Lord, Trinidad and Tobago. This is DJ Bravo. I'm hurting you up. This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. All I see in front of me, nightmares turn into reality. Like somebody build a monster factory. Parliament up against parliament economy. But let the moderators in another body in a dream. Somebody girl child missing, another rape again. An next road stain with somebody's son brain. Who take the S out of Port of Spain. This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. Now with the love, with the vibes, with the hope. Now tell me something, how we really want we cope. When the children breathing in too much gun smoke. And the Coast Guard can never see a boat. You're sounding like some goats when they come looking for votes. Sit to empty promises, reading like a horoscope. Justice for sale in a fat envelope. Politically, all the answers is a joke. This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. All I see in front of me, nightmares turn into reality. Like somebody build a monster factory. Parliament up in the parliament economy. But look the moderator saying another body in a drain. Somebody kill child missing, another rape again. And next road stain with somebody's son brain. Who take the S out of Port of Spain? This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. It doesn't matter the religion, the color, the creed, or the race. It's our responsibility to take care of our place. Champion.